But this new provision, Mr. Speaker, poses certain challenges because, Mr. Speaker, sometimes because it might also be the rainy season, the issue of not distance is one problem. The other issue is also the issue of terrain and the possibility that the exams, if they have to be done in the morning, returned to the sub-county headquarters and picked for the afternoon, this might pose a very major challenge, Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, I just wanted your indulgence so that we can find a way forward for the sake of the citizens of this country and our candidates for this year. Because also, again, Mr. Speaker, I've talked to some of the sub-county directors, Mr. Speaker, and they're saying they're not even aware whether they'll be given additional funding to be able to manage that extra trip. Because now, what happens that the trips will actually be double. That means the cost of transportation of exams will double, as the ministry provided that kind of money, Mr. Speaker. And Mr. Speaker, the other issue which is also concerned with the ministry is the issue of the task force, Mr. Speaker. Recently, the House did say that the task force needs to bring their report to the House so that we can deliberate on it. But, Mr. Speaker, we are about to close schools this term until next year. And our teachers are supposed to prepare for next year. Unfortunately, Mr. Speaker, we are not even sure what subjects will be taught in junior secondary school come January next year. So it's very important that as a House we take up this matter so that the schools close and everybody knows exactly what needs to be done. Mr. Speaker, thank you for that opportunity.
Who is supposed to collect the exam, the school teacher or the invigilator?
Mr. Speaker, the center manager, Mr. Speaker, is supposed to go to the center, the sub-county headquarters, pick the papers, take them to school. When they do the morning papers, they take them back all the way to the sub-county headquarters, return the morning papers, pick the ones for afternoon, again take them to the schools. So it's a major challenge, Mr. Speaker.
Meli, before you respond, Honourable Members, the matter raised by the Honourable Robert Mbui for order, members. The matter raised by the Honourable Member for Kadhiani came up in the House Business Committee. And the House Business Committee gave him leave to raise the matter on the floor. If what he's saying is true, then it must be a source of concern to all of you. And we need the Chair of Education to explain to the House, because the integrity of examinations cannot be compromised under whatever circumstances. And Honorable Meli, if what we were told in the House Business Committee is true, then it is not right that a head teacher is also the manager of the examination center of his own school. That is not what used to be in the old days. There was an invigilator from a different school to come to superintend over the examination to avoid the temptation to cheat. Secondly, there are some areas of this country, like North Horr, where from one school to the center where they are to pick the examination is probably 300 kilometers. So how do you expect the head of the center to pick exams in the morning, take them back, and then pick the afternoon papers and bring them to school again? There are also areas that are bandit-prone that you must be careful about, like McLeod's constituency. I've seen a flash on 411 that there is some banditry going on in some area. So if you have areas like those, Honorable Meli, remember that the children of this country, whether they are in Kilimani Junior Academy or in Turbi or in Todonyang or in Horoholo, wherever, they are children of this country and must have the same treatment in terms of examinations. So before you give the House your assurance, I'll give 3-3 on either side or 4-4 to make comments on this very important matter. It is something that, as a House, you need to be on top of things so that the children who sit for exams, those who pass must pass fairly, those who don't pass must fail fairly. Murugara.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, it's of great concern, especially the issues that have been raised by Honorable Mbui.
Comparing with Meli, let him listen to what.
And these are the issues actually we have received from our various constituencies. That every time the Kenya National Examination Council does change formats of delivering examinations, as a result of which we are told the exam has been stolen. This is shameful. It is the high time Kenya National Examination Council actually woke up and it became serious and they took the issues of examinations very seriously, such that it has in place a policy that will begin day one up to the end, where the examination is delivered, supervised, and assured in a manner that is of great integrity. Otherwise, this idea of today you do this, tomorrow you do the other one, all of them are flop, results are out, and they are the first ones to admit that the exam was actually stolen. It is the high time the Kenya National Examination Council, the Minister of Education, took the issues of examination in this country back to the days of yore, when we used to have real exams where students would pass fairly, students would fail fairly. So I agree, we need to hear from the chairman as regards what policies are in place for this year, including my constituency, Tharaka, which also is an example of what you have actually given. Vast schools are far apart, and the students have to walk long distances to do these exams. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Member for Bumula. Take no more than 2 minutes each.
I join this debate, Honorable Speaker, at a point where our education system is experiencing a very sad situation. As we speak, schools do not have money. Money for capitation has not reached schools. Head teachers do not have any money whatsoever. The teachers who marked exams, even last time, some of them up to now have not received the money. Honorable Speaker, this House has been allocating money to the Ministry of Education and therefore to NEC. We cannot continue this way, Honorable Speaker. And I want to call upon this House that we must take a very strong position against Kenya National Examination Council, against the manager, the CEO downwards of NEC. And Honorable Meli, my brother, we must work together on this to ensure that we flush out the culprits in NEC that are making the situation unbearable for the children of Kenya. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Owen Bayer.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, and I want to join my colleagues on this issue. It's very important that we have examination integrity in this country. And examination integrity in this country gives the Kenyan certificate what we thought that it requires to have. Honorable Speaker, issues of examination are sensitive. And as our children take examinations, one of the things that we need to do is to give our children the confidence that whatever they're going to do, whatever they have been through school for those many years, it's going to be worthwhile doing that examination. Honorable Speaker, I know that issue of bringing in exams, taking twice in a day. But I also know that the Ministry of Education has taken steps towards shortening the distance between where the exam is taken and the school. In my constituents, for example, I have one sub-county, but I have 4 centers within the same sub-county where examinations will be picked and dropped. And containers have been distributed in this country to the nearest police station. That makes it possible for exams to be dropped and picked in the morning and in the afternoon. So unless there are other cases, but the case in this country is that containers have been put in every police station or where there is an administrative unit where examinations can be picked. So Honorable Mbui, it's not practical that the ministry will say that the distance is long. What is practical and what is on the ground right now, unless he has not visited his constituency recently, there are many centers where examinations can be picked, and that is the position. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Hassan of Kamkunji.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I do support Honorable Mbui's position. It is terrible that in fact in this day and age we seem to be grappling with the same problem that we have had for so many years. It is bad for the students, it's bad for the parents, it's bad for the country, and is a terrible blot on the consciousness of this nation as a whole. And this is something we must fight, not only in the Ministry of Education, although in the Exam Council, it should be done nationally as well, because this culture of cheating, the culture of shortcuts, is prevalent in our society and in our country. And we can't just blame the students, the parents, and some few members of the National Education Council. We need a more concerted effort. And this also is impacting on those children forever, because when they go to college, they don't do very well. When they go to university, they suffer because they were not well prepared. They have fake results, and it is bad for them. Therefore, we must do whatever is necessary to fight this scourge of cheating in our country.
Thank you. Wanjiku Muya.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Matters of examination are serious matters. And Honorable Speaker, what our Deputy Majority Leader has alluded to is correct but not practical. Honorable Speaker, I may give an example of my own constituency. From the one sub-county to where is said it's the middle, unless the exam is taken by border. There are no roads. The roads are very horrible with these heavy rains. And even in the instances where we have constituencies which are very vast, like the ones you just mentioned, of about 300 kilometers, even if they divide the 300 kilometers by 2, it will still be 150 kilometers to the nearest. Really, the idea is good, but it is not practical, and the NEC and the minister and the whole education fraternity have to retract and revisit this issue within the shortest time possible and supervise the exam that it is done without cheating, but in a practical manner. Otherwise, it is not tenable, and that method is just horrible.
Member for Turkana, is it East? Nicholas Gigor.
Honorable Speaker, thank you for giving me this chance to give my voice to this very important motion. Mr. Speaker.
It's a statement.
Statement, I mean. Mr. Speaker, as you have just put it right, this issue of exam management for this year, it is somehow horrible. I have just come from my constituency, and after visiting several schools for their prayer days, that is starting last week to this Monday, last Monday. Mr. Speaker, what I was told by the center's managers, those are the head teachers and the principals, they were just giving what it has been mentioned this afternoon here, that the exam management, it has changed. They will be taking morning exams to the center, back to the headquarters of the constituency or the sub-county, then they take the afternoon exams, then they take it back in the evening after the exams of that day. Mr. Speaker, you have just given an example of some of the constituencies or the sub-counties. Let me just give you a live example of my constituency.
In 30 seconds.
There is a center called Capedo, which is 150 kilometers from Lokori, which is the headquarters of my sub-county. Mr. Speaker, how can the exam be taken from Lokori to Kapedo, then back in the afternoon? How many hours? And the journey is a journey of 7 hours from the headquarters of the sub-county to that center. How can it be manageable? Mr. Speaker, this issue must be addressed so that...
Thank you. Maclap. We are coming to an end.
Mr. Speaker, this is a ministry of surprises. Surprise number one, Mr. Speaker, is inconveniencing students and teachers in performing their exams. This is a new surprise in town, and we are not even interested in the CEO of NEC. The minister responsible for education must be held accountable. Mr. Speaker, surprise number two, those of us who come from bandit-prone areas, students are told to leave their school where they have been studying for all these years and go and do exams in another place, an environment that is not known to them, and even how they will eat, how they will survive for the number of days is a problem. Surprise number three, Mr. Speaker, is some of these areas that are very difficult are bandit invested, as you say. Mr. Speaker, as we even talk now in some school, Kabindasu, bandits are actually marooned GSU officers. The security forces are more insecure than the citizens. What about the students? Mr. Speaker, this Ministry of Surprises of even using regulation to introduce changes in education is a problem. The surprises in the Ministry of Education, Mr. Speaker, must be fixed by Parliament so that there is order in the education system and our children will be able to do exams that has quality and integrity that can earn a name in the future of Kenya.
I'll give 2-2, then we end there. Member for Narok North, Mama Agnes Pareyo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me this opportunity to support the statement. Examination is a serious issue that we need to look into. And cheating, lying during examination is an issue that has been going on for a long time. And it is time that we need to deal with it once and once for all so that we can give certificates to those who have worked for it. And saying that as exams will be transported twice a day in some areas like my constituency, where I have 6 wards and the roads are impassable, I don't think that those exams can be transported twice in a day and still reach to the schools at the right time. So I think it is time that the Ministry of Education look into that issue, because even giving one person who is a manager to have or to get hold of this exam with a border man alone, I don't think that the exams will be really fair. And these exams are supposed to reach to the students while nobody has interfered with it. So it means that by the end of it all, there are so many people that will interfere with these exams and the exams will not be secured. So I think it is an issue that we need to look into. Thank you.
The last one, Mwalimu Mboko Milemba. That is the end of that story.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Speaker, the center of everything that has been said is the teacher. The person whom you have heard being mentioned as center organizer is actually the head teacher or the principal, and it's basically the teacher. And in the event anything happens wrong, Honorable Speaker, that's the person who is punished, is addicted, and currently he's actually dismissed by the Teacher Service Commission. Honorable Speaker, even now, the people who have been invited to go and supervise exams have been invited forcefully. Ordinarily, they are supposed to actually apply and get there. But now teachers have been given letters and they don't want to go and supervise. So we shall still have a problem on supervision. But finally, because of time, at the center of all this is also lack of money in the schools, because the practicals require money and there's no money in the schools. The last tranche to be sent was a long time ago. My advice is this. that because exams are more important in this country than the economy sometimes, unlike America, where they value their economy more, could the Honorable CS for Education be given time to come to this House before we close so that he gives confidence to these members and Kenyans that exams will be clean? Otherwise, we shall have the same case we had last time when one school got all the A's and others got nothing. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Melly, the chair of the committee. Do you have the facts with you to respond now, or I give you first thing tomorrow morning?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I wish
and do you have capacity to speak on behalf of the ministry?
No, I cannot speak on behalf of the minister. I will request that I ask the minister to give me facts I can table before the House tomorrow morning. Thank you.
Honorable Deputy Speaker, you are the one who will start the House tomorrow as always. The first shot you'll give to any member is to Honorable Melly to bring a statement from the minister to assuage members and the public from the fears being exhibited so that we don't deal a psychological blow to our children who are going to sit exams so that we can encourage them to go and face exams with courage. And on your behalf, my own behalf, I want us to wish all the students who are going to sit exams in the country the very best so that they can all come out with good results to transition to the next levels. Thank you. Next, as we go to the next order, yes, Kaluma? Not on the same issue?
I can't raise the same issue, Honorable Speaker, after your wise decision. Maybe I would have just wished that because tomorrow we are meeting the cabinet secretaries on the plenary, it could be an issue that may be raised with the office with Melly if the response is not satisfactory in the early sessions of tomorrow. But Honorable Speaker, I'm standing before you under Standing Order number 131 of the Standing Orders of the House. Honorable Speaker, that provision permits a member to stand before the House rises to go into the committee of the whole House to address the issues therein. The issue, Honorable Speaker, is that that standing order provision empowers you as Speaker and gives you discretion.
Honorable Kaluma.
Yes, Honorable Speaker.
The order has not been called yet.
I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Yes, so you are actually anticipating debate.
I'm sorry, Honorable
What
Speaker.
I suggest you do is once the order has been called and the Speaker has left the chair and you go to the committee of the whole, the chair of the committee will give you the first bite to raise the issue you are raising.
I thought, Honorable Speaker, that the issue can only be dealt with by the substantive Speaker, not the chair of the committee of the whole, because otherwise the chair would have to return to your seat to...
Okay, let's call out the order. I'll hear you.
Yes, sir.
Committee of the whole House. Order number 8, Committee of the whole House.
Honorable members, before the Speaker leaves the chair, we'll give Kaluma 2 minutes to prosecute what he wants to prosecute. I also want to encourage you that this is a bill that is literally precedent setting. The committee has proposed amendments to each and every clause, including the title. Ordinarily, I would have advised them to bring a wholly new bill. But since we have reached where we are, I have acceded to the amendments to be walked through. Honorable Pukose and his group are going to prosecute for a long time, I believe, amendments to each and every clause, including the title. And I hope that you will have the stamina and the time, because this is an extremely important bill in the health sector of this country. Can I hear Honorable Kaluma?
Honorable Speaker, you partly prosecuted the matter I wanted to raise with you. Honorable Speaker, this is a very important bill. I was requesting, Honorable Speaker, that in the light of the several amendments proposed, and Honorable Speaker, I can confirm from pages 1479 to pages 1526, over 48 pages of the order paper for today, there are proposals, number one, by the committee, including the title, and I agree with the committee. Then there are proposals by several other members. I see Irene Mayaka, Honorable Peter Sowino, I'm seeing Honorable Dr. Nyikal. Honorable Speaker, the provision of Standing Order number 131 empowers you to direct that where there are more than 10 amendments, those matter or the bill itself can be referred back to the relevant committee, which will be the Committee on Health for Harmonization. Honorable Speaker, this is what we call winnowing. So I was requesting that we don't proceed to the Committee of the Whole if you allow, but because this matter is very serious, it goes for winnowing and we harmonize all these amendments. Honorable Speaker, maybe I also mentioned, because of shortness of time, that if you look at page 1387 of this bill, it is a bill proposing to repeal the whole of the Pharmacy and Poisons Board Act. It is seeking to repeal the Food, Drugs, and the Scheduled Substances Act. Both of those statutes are being repealed in terms of the whole act in whole. It seeks to repeal section 16, 17, and 18 of the Narcotic Drugs and Psychotropic Substances Act. I've looked at those acts, Honorable Speaker, it is seeking to repeal. I've also looked at the sections of the various laws it is seeking to repeal, not in whole, but in part. And Honorable Speaker, they are very substantive. It would be therefore necessary, Honorable Speaker, that we go back to the committee, the relevant committee, so that we don't just deal with the bill itself, but also be assured in a way, by way of cross-checking, that the good provisions in the various acts of parliament sought to be repealed, Honorable Speaker, are incorporated herein.
Thank you.
This is the reason I was requesting for winnowing. I know we need to transact this first for the reasons the Deputy Speaker has given me, but Honorable Speaker, winnowing even enables expedition. I was thinking if this were to be directed even tomorrow, then on Thursday we could take the shortest time on matters the House is generally agreed upon to expedite the consideration of this bill at the Committee of the Whole House. I crave, Honorable Speaker. Thank you.
Chairman of the committee, what do you say to that?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, having listened to Kaluma, I think you've already given a direction to which this is a very important bill. And this is a bill I started in the 11th Parliament. And we've gone through when the minister, because it is affecting a department within the Ministry of Health, that we have proposals which we have tried to, as much as possible, to accommodate from the government. So I think we just move to the Committee of the Whole House and we prosecute the bill, because that will hasten the process, and I don't think we need to go back winnowing, then we have to reschedule it again for Committee of the Whole House. That will be a longer process.
Deputy Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I know that I agree with the chairperson of the Health Committee. This bill, actually, in as much as it looks like there is several amendments, the amendments are not substantial. They are restricted to small correction of the use of certain words so that we can be in tandem with the WHO standards. For example, at the titling, it makes sense because the title was the Kenya Drugs Authority Bill. Amending that to say that, to include, I think the new name that they are putting there is the Kenya Health Products and Technologies Regulatory Authority is just to explain what the bill is about. Because, for example, laser treatment cannot be called a drug, it's a technology. So it's just trying to make sure that the bill now is with modern science, where treatment is not by drugs alone, but can also be by technology. It is a more comprehensive explanation. The other amendment, that I can pick as an example, is the change of the word therapeutic, cosmetic, and is being replaced with dietary supplement. Again, it will become an all-encompassing explanation. And lastly, Honorable Speaker, if you allow me, the other list of definitions are just to put the definitions in alphabetical order. So there is no substantive changes or amendments that are, it's more definitional. In fact, the substantive amendments are only 3, Honorable Speaker. Thank you. So I propose that we proceed.
Honorable members, there are some amendments that came to the Speaker's chamber. I think one from Senior Counsel Otienda Molo, from one or two other members, including Honorable Kaluma. I direct that when you get to those amendments, they all be accommodated. Normally, there is a time cut at which your amendments should be brought, but having approved them, they will all be considered. In the event you reach any clause that has competing amendments that are conflicting in nature, the chair of the committee is at liberty to stay that amendment to the next day for harmonization. I don't see any difficulty in that. That's part of our legislative process. So, honorable members will go into committee. Every amendment that I have approved should be and will be considered in the committee of the whole. Will you be upstanding, honorable members?
Order, members. The House is now in the Committee of the Whole for the consideration of the Kenya Drugs Authority Bill, National Assembly number 54 of 2022. Honorable members, let us have order in the House. Honorable Nyenze, take your seat. Break that Kamukunji. Honorable Sergon, take your seat. Member for Mogotio, take your seat. Member for Laikipia, take your seat. We will have order. Member for Mogotio, take your seat. Order, members.
Clause 3.
I propose the question that clause 3 be part of the bill. Mover. Honorable Pukose.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Honorable Chair, I propose that clause 3 of the bill be amended as per the order paper. The clause 3 of the bill is deleted in subclause 1 and substitute therefore the following new subclause 1. 1, that this act applies to the regulation of A, medicines, medical products and technologies. B, medical devices including radiation emitting products. C, radiopharmaceuticals. D, complementary, alternative or herbal medicines. E, cosmetics and borderline products. F, in vitro diagnostic medical devices. G, therapeutic feeds. H, clinical trials. I, nutraceuticals and dietary supplements. J, digital health and technologies. K, scheduled substances. L, chemical substances. And M, biological products for use in humans and the starting materials used in their manufacture. This is to comprehensively cover all aspects in the regulation of health products and technologies.
I therefore propose the question that clause 3 be amended as proposed by the chair of the Health Committee. Honorable Kaluma.
Yes, Chair, I support the amendment, but Chair, I have not heard the mover speak to scheduled substances, and I regret the bill does not say what scheduled substances are. Unless this is clarified, I would urge the members to oppose. I thank you, Chair.
Speak to this issue, put an intervention. Honorable Otiende Amolo, are you on this one? Okay. Chair, do you have a response to Honorable Kaluma's?
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Honorable Chair, in A, I'm talking of medicines, medical products, and technologies. What Honorable Kalima need to know is that scheduled substances are medicines. So when we are saying medicines, they are in scheduled substances.
What's out of Honorable Kaluma?
Chair, the mover is misleading the House. The term scheduled substances was clearly defined in the Pharmacy and Poisons Board Act. The question I'm asking is whether scheduled substances has been defined within this bill in the manner it was defined there, because otherwise it is not clear what it is in the bill.
Chair.
Madam Chair, we are in clause 3. Clause 3 does not talk about definitions. Yeah? I want clause 3, that clause we have amended, and we are indicating the comprehensively cover of all aspects in the regulation of health products and technologies. All these are health products and technologies. So it is not definition. I think the honorable member is talking about definitions. And when you go to definitions, then you will find the definition of scheduled substances.
Okay, honorable members, I will therefore now put the question that clause 3 be amended as proposed by the Chair Health Committee. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 3 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 4.
I propose the question that clause 4 be part of the bill. Mover.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Honorable Chair, I propose that clause 4 be amended as per the order paper. This is to accord with international best practices on establishment of centralized regulatory authority for health products and technologies.
I propose the question that clause 4 be amended as proposed by the chair. Honorable Dawood.
Chair, I agree with the reasoning that the Deputy Speaker had given earlier, that it should encompass all, because technologies are used, and in the drugs title it was not there. So I support, Chair.
This I support.
Honorable Kaluma.
Chair, this amendment I support. The title of the bill as initially framed, Chair, was Kenya Drugs Authority Bill, and the authority was there for Kenya Drugs Authority. Chair, that was limiting, considering we are also dealing with technology, and we are not just up to creating authorities, but dealing with both drugs and technology application in the health sector. I therefore support that amendment by the committee.
Thank you, Honorable Kaluma. Member for North Imenti, you have already spoken on this. Honorable Otiende, I think if you're not willing to speak on this one, you remove. Okay. Your interest is in clause 8. Okay. I therefore put the question that clause 4 be amended as proposed by the chair, Health Committee. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 4 is amended be part of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 5.
I propose the question that clause 5 be part of the bill. Mover. Clause 5, Honorable Pukose.
Honorable Chair, I propose that clause 5 be amended as per the order paper. This is to give the board discretion to determine the location of the authority's headquarters, because we are now saying that the headquarters of the authority shall be in such other place as the board of the authority may by resolution determine.
Honorable Kaluma.
Yes, Chair, I want to urge the members present that we reject the amendment of the committee so that we have the clause 5 in the bill passed as it is. Chair, clause 5 is very clear. It says the headquarters of the authority shall be Nairobi. This is the manner they are drafted. But the authority may establish branches anywhere in Kenya. Honorable, to leave it to a body of people will be changing each time to determine where the headquarters is, in terms of even resource allocation for construction of that headquarters or where it should be, will be moving with whoever is chairing the board and whoever is in the board each time. I pray, Chair, and I pray, honorable members, that we reject that committee amendment and we make it clear under the law that the headquarters is in Nairobi, but other branches may appear everywhere.
Thank you. You've made your point. Honorable CNN.
Chair, I just want to support what Honorable Kaluma said. We need to reject this clause because headquarters has to be specifically Nairobi, where we are, and where many of the authorities functions from, Chair.
Thank you. Member for Saku.
Thank you very much, Chair. Chair, I support the amendment that the Chair has moved. Actually, what he is saying is not changing the headquarters. He is saying that the board can have branches anywhere or around the country. And I think that is part of the evolution. There's no way you are just going to have headquarters and everything in Nairobi.
Honorable members,
I support.
Just for clarity, the amendment as in the order paper does not change the headquarters. It only says that it can be determined by a resolution to such other place as the board of the authority may by resolution determine. Member for Nakuru Town East.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. I arise to support the amendment by the Chair, and totally because there was a confusion what is written in the bill and what the explanation is coming is like they want to, like the Chair is removing the headquarters from Nairobi. But I totally, that is not the case. I support your amendment, Honorable, that branches can be determined by the board. Thank you, Honorable Chair.
It can be in any, it can be in
I'll give the member, Honorable Basil, member for Yatta.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I agree with the, Honorable Kaluma that we need to be specific because it'd be very costly that if we have to change offices every time we have a new resolution. So let's consider that. Thank you.
I will hear Honorable Ward Chief. I will give you the last word, Honorable Chair.
Chair, the reason why we are supporting this is that the headquarters remains in Nairobi. It is only the branches that can be established in this order that the amendment is saying.
Honorable Pukose, kindly summarize this one on this matter.
Chair, I want to read to Honorable Kaluma and others what the bill says. The headquarters of the authority shall be in Nairobi. Then we go further to say that and the branches shall be in such other place as the board of the authority may by resolution determine. Those are branches which you are determining, not the headquarters.
Honorable Dawood, order members, Honorable Dawood, we will get there. Honorable Dawood.
Chair, I agree with what the chair of Health Committee is saying. There is nothing in the bill which is saying Nairobi is not the headquarters, but it is just saying a resolution will be passed to determine where the other branches will be. So I do not understand where the problem is.
Honorable Otiende Amolo.
Chair, I didn't want to speak to this clause, but I want to persuade Honorable Pukose that on a closer reading of this clause, Honorable Kaluma may be right. Honorable Pukose, and the reason why Honorable Kaluma would be right is the use of the word or. If you read as it now stands, you see, if you remove those words, the headquarters of the authority shall be in Nairobi or in such other place as the board of the authority may by resolution determine. That's how it then flows. Now, then what it means, Honorable Chair, is that we are saying it will be Nairobi or any other place. Now, I would suggest that the way to deal with it is not to debate it too much. The substantive speaker gave us leeway. And if Honorable Pukose agrees, I could propose a further amendment that resolves the issue, which is this. We just, we retain it, the earlier part, the headquarters of the authority shall be in Nairobi, and then instead of the words or, say, but the authority may establish branches in any other place by resolution, you know, so that it's clear that it's the branches that can be established by resolution, not the headquarters. I beg, Chair. Thanks.
Honorable Chair, I think Honorable Otiende has a point. Can we hear you, Honorable Kaluma, or Otiende has spoken for you?
Let me say something briefly. Honorable Chair, Clause 5 as currently drafted establishes where the seat of the headquarter is in Nairobi and gives the board the freedom to determine where the branches could be anywhere in Kenya. If the amendment by the committee is carried, it will be saying that the headquarters shall be Nairobi or any other place they may determine, but it will no longer speak to the opening of branches anywhere in Kenya. And that is why I was saying, even the proposal for amendment Honorable Otiende Amolo is proposing may not help much, because if they will be saying that the board will by resolution. A board as a body corporate, no doubt, determines by resolution. Let us reject this committee amendment and leave what is in the bill, which is that the headquarters is in Nairobi, but the board retains the mandate and power to determine wherever branches are in Kenya. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Kaluma. Chair?
Chair, I think the best is we can drop the amendment. Yes.
That is good.
Yeah,
we will now propose it without amendment. I propose the question. I therefore propose the question. I propose that clause 5 be part of the bill. I now put the question that clause 5 be part of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 6.
I propose the question that clause 6 be part of the bill. Mover.
Honorable Chair, I propose that clause 6 be amended as per the order paper, and this is for proper drafting of the clause.
I propose the question that clause 6 be amended as proposed by the chair. Member for Mathare.
Honorable Chair, I want to support the amendment by the committee on the grounds that the authority that is being created touches on very fundamental things, not only the administration of drugs and the technologies that are involved in this area, so that the enhancement of the experience of the Director General to 15 years is one that is appropriate, so that we are ensured that the persons who are superintending over this very serious authority are persons that is a person that we can entrust. I support.
Member for Yatta.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. If you go to number D4, a person shall be qualified for appointment as Director General if such a person holds a bachelor's degree in pharmacy. Kenyans are learned, so why don't we stick to masters only? We don't need to have first degree as a consideration. Thank you.
Member for Homa Bay Town.
Honorable Chair, I support the committee's amendment, more so to clause 3, where they are proposing that the term of service be reduced from 4 to 3 years, so that it accords with the Mwongozo guidelines. That I support, Honorable Chair. But Honorable Chair, I tend to believe that the qualifications the academic qualification or the qualification criteria being established in clause 4 is unduly restrictive. Honorable Chair, the Director General is to lead in administration, is not to lead in preparation of drugs, pharmaceuticals, or in the application. Honorable Chair, we are past the time where the clerk of the House, for instance, had to be a lawyer, where the Speaker of the House, particularly in the County Assembly, had to be a lawyer. Anybody who can lead a board in terms of being their executive should be opened for leeway to lead. So I would request the chair to, remove the specification in terms of pharmacy to somebody who has done administration or management, or anybody who has served at management level, including in parliament here, can be in charge of this body, because they are not the ones to do the chemicals and to manufacture them. I thank you, Honorable Chair.
I'll give the chair first. Honorable Chair, to respond to the issues that have been raised. Before the chair, I'll give Member for Seme.
I think for part A, it really must, that is one who must be there, that if you really are going to be a Director General, you must have the basics of pharmacy. And that is why you have the first degree. When you come to B, you have actually opened it so that other people, so long as they have that, there are people now who have pharmacy, but they may also have another degree in administration, in law. Those people now are open. But for that one, I think we should leave it as it is.
But what is any relevant field?
Honorable TJ.
That is what opens it.
Chair, I'm enjoying this discourse between my learned friend, Honorable Kaluma, and my senior doctor beside me here. But in this house, we must agree on things. When it comes to lawyers, everybody says that not, and Honorable Murugara, please listen to me. Honorable Murugara, please listen to me. The chairman beside you is diverting your attention, if you don't mind, because this relates to JLAC. Yes. When it comes to lawyers, Honorable Chair, they say that not only lawyers must be chairmen, or must be CEO, or must be this and that. But when it comes to medicine, my doctor, who is next to me here, is very forceful that only people who have read pharmacy can only do these things. Now, we have to be very consistent in these things. I know that lawyers have a problem in terms of how the society view them, but time has come when we have to be consistent in our policy. I neither support Kaluma, nor do I support the member for Seme, but this house must take a position.
Honorable TJ, thank you. Chair. Your reaction to members' issues that have been raised.
Chair, this has been subjected to public participation. And when you look at the qualifications, where we are saying holding a bachelor's degree in pharmacy from a university recognized in Kenya, and then that must be a basic requirement, because not just, this is a WHO also requirement for this National Medical Regulatory Authority to be able to qualify for us to be in level 3, maturity level 3. Therefore, you cannot lower the standards for it and just open it to say that anybody can become the CEO of this organization. I think we must also live up to the expectations.
Thank you. Honorable Owen Baya.
I support the amendments by the chair, Honorable Speaker, and that clause 6 be part of the bill. And I would like to also say that I believe what TJ is saying. Where organizations must be led by lawyers, they must be led by lawyers. And where organizations must be led by pharmacists, they must be led by pharmacists. I think we need to professionalize our way of doing things. And therefore, I would like, if If an organization needs to be led by a pilot, let it be led by a pilot. If it needs to be led by a teacher, let it be led by a teacher. So let's give the pharmacists the opportunity to lead this pharmaceutical organization.
You've made your point. Honorable Gekaria.
Honorable Speaker, Honorable Chair, as I arise to support Dr. Pukose, but at the same time I agree with TJ Kajwang. I had an opportunity of IEBC where they said the chair must be a lawyer of, I don't know, High Court, I don't know.
So, Honorable Gekaria, are you supporting the chair? You cannot support the chair and TJ at the same time.
All I'm just
on this
saying,
one. Honorable Member for Diwa. Here, member for Diwa for a minute, then I'll give you Honorable Kalu.
If TJ and JL, I could not get that. This is technical. This is highly technical, and you cannot have anybody without basic degree in pharmacy to do it. So I support it.
Honorable Dr. Gogo.
Thank you so much, Honorable Chair. I like the way this has generated quite a bit of involvement, but for heaven's sake, I want to support the chair that let pharmacies run their own business. And as it were, the qualifications that have been put forth by the chair, I support all of them. When it comes to, Honorable Chair, when it comes to matters where...
We will hear all of you members. Just
where you have lawyers lead certain organizations, or when it is open to the public, that would do, or any other disciplines. But for this particular one, let us give these pharmacists a chance, for heaven's sake.
Thank you, Honorable.
Chair.
Thank you, Member for Rangwe. Honorable Member for Homa Bay Town. And Honorable Kajwang, you have already made your point on this one. Honorable Kaluma.
Yeah, Chair, I am persuaded by the Chair that the nature of this work requires a specialized person. But Honorable Chair, may I then request the mover to delete the phrase "or any relevant field" from a university, because if we are saying it should be pharmacists or medics, then what is any relevant field? Would I request, if we are keeping it to pharmacy or medicine or medical related courses, this any relevant field opens it wide. Could it be removed? I thank you, Honorable Chair.
Honorable members, let us be orderly. If you're willing to speak on these interventions, Member for North Imenti.
Chair, I agree with the Chair of Health. And to answer Honorable Kaluma's point, it says initially you have to have a bachelor's degree in pharmacy, and after that in the master's is when you can be in any other field besides pharmacy and medicine. So Chair, you know, in the 2010 Constitution, the lawyers had it all their way. They put themselves in each and every commission and every sector of the government. So, Chair, lawyers have had it well. Now let the other people have it as well. Thank you, Chair.
Member for Runyenjes.
Thank you, Chair. On this particular field, Honorable Chair, I want to support the Chair of the committee or the mover, since his proposal is that we have a person who has a bachelor's degree in pharmacy, and Honorable Chair, a person can have a bachelor's degree in pharmacy but still possess another qualification that is of related field. So, Honorable Chair, I support the mover.
Thank you. Member for Luanda.
Thank you so much, Honorable Chair. On this one, Madam Chair, I want to support the Chair because professionals go to school to acquire technical skills for a given field. And therefore, having a technical person heading this is very important. Therefore, I support that the professionals should actually be honored.
Thank you.
Therefore, support this.
Honorable Dr. Otiende Amolo.
Chair, first, I support the chair of the committee. And in truth, Honorable Dawood has explained it. Because as I understand this, the first is a basic degree in pharmacy. But thereafter, you are allowed to have a second master's degree in anything. You can even have an MBA. You can have anything else. which then will speak to the skills that we were talking about, so it's not inconsistent. Having said that, Chair, secondly, it would be outrageous to have a chief executive who does not have a basic degree in pharmacy, and yet down there in clause 8, you are insisting the board chair must have a degree in pharmacy.
Thank you.
And yet this is the technical one. But Madam Chair, Honorable Dawood should withdraw what he has said. Honorable Dawood has suggested that the lawyers created all the offices for themselves, and I was part of those who wrote the Constitution, and it is not true. Did Honorable Dawood want doctors to be judges in the High Court and Supreme Court? Absolutely not. So to that extent, I agree with Honorable T.J. Kajwang. Thank you.
Thank you. I will now put the question that clause 6 be amended as proposed by the chair. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question. Before I put the global question, there was a proposed amendment by Honorable Oluoch, Anthony Oluoch. But the import of carrying the proposal by the chair makes yours fall, Honorable Oluoch. Sorry.
Apologies, Madam Chair. When I was making my interventions initially, I was speaking to my amendments. I later realized that the amendments were the amendments as put in the order paper by the chair and the committee. My issue was on clause 6, particularly the clause that deals with, I think, C, that deals with the 15 years experience. So you have guided, Madam Chair. I don't know whether I can still prosecute or the import of...
The import is that it falls, actually.
It falls.
Yeah.
I'm guided.
Okay, I will now put the question that clause 6 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 7.
I propose the question that clause 7 be part of the bill. Mover?
Honorable Chair, I propose that clause 7 be amended as per the order paper. This is to correct a typographical error. Because what we're doing here is that we in paragraph 7 of the bill, we amended F by deleting the words act, regulation under this, and substitute therefore the words regulation under this act. It's just typographical error.
Allow me to propose the question that clause 7 be amended as proposed by the chair. Honorable Kaluma.
Honorable Chair, this clause requires further amendments, and it is the clause I'd signify to the Speaker would propose amendments for. Honorable Chair, while least I support the amendment of the committee, Honorable Chair, look at clause 7A and B and whether they should be necessary. Honorable Chair, you know we are a House of Parliament. We cannot be sitting to be legislating against ourselves even where it is not necessary. Honorable Chair, when you say a person shall not qualify for the position of Director General if the person is a member of Parliament or is a member of the County Assembly, number one, can you qualify if indeed you are sitting? I'm saying that in addition to the amendments the mover is proposing, clause 7A and B be also deleted on its own moving, because it serves no purpose. It is obvious I cannot engage in any other thing under the Constitution if I'm a member of Parliament. You cannot engage in any other thing from which you can gain under the Constitution if you are a member of the County Assembly, because in both cases you are a state officer under Article 260 of the Constitution. So this spirit in which as Parliament we keep shouting against ourselves, even where it yields no substantive benefit, is not necessary. I therefore support the mover's amendment, but I request him to further amend clause 7 by deleting subclause A and B. If he does not, we will reject the whole clause. I thank you, Chair.
Let's start with the member for Mathare. Are you on this?
Yes, Madam Chair, I was particularly, I had a proposed amendment to begin with, and I support the part that seeks to add the word persons with disabilities on the question of, in terms of its being in compliance or in tandem with the provisions of the Constitution. So to the extent that it would seek to include the persons with disabilities, I would propose or agree that the issues of persons with disabilities be included.
Thank you, Honorable Owen Baya. But I'm not sure you're prosecuting the same issue.
Yeah, Honorable Speaker,
Honorable Baya.
I'm wondering where those amendments by Kaluma and Olocha, because what we have on clause 7, we do not have any amendments by Honorable Kaluma.
Are we on clause 7 or clause 8? 7. Okay.
Yes, on clause 7. Does he have? But where are the further amendments? No. I understand the idea of further amendments. But they are not on record. They're not on record, those amendments. Where? Where are they on record?
Honorable Tiende.
Thank you. Chair, I want Honorable Kaluma, let me help Honorable Owen by understand the earlier ruling by the substantive speaker.
Yes.
As the speaker ruled, there are some of us who had written for amendments, but they were not incorporated in this order paper. But the speaker ruled that we can introduce them, including one that I will introduce, because the speaker had accepted them. That is why Honorable Kaluma is able to suggest a further amendment. But in any case, sometimes when it is necessary to help an omission, and provided the mover is in agreement, there is no harm in introducing a further amendment if Dr. Pukosi agrees. So let me say two things, Chair. First, I agree with Honorable Kaluma to this extent, because necessarily, once you are serving as a member of parliament or a member of the county assembly or in the county executive, you cannot hold another office such as this. So whether you state it or not, you are not qualified. But to mention it, it's as if there's something particularly against a member of parliament. Because we could as well have mentioned that if you're a cabinet secretary, you do not qualify. If you're in any other office, you do not qualify. And that's why I thought we could leave it. But Dr. Pukosi, with your permission, I would like to persuade you that while I support the amendment on its own, there are two other small amendments you need to make on that clause 7. One is, if you look at 7B, it says, is convicted of an offense. I'm sure you should read, has been convicted, because that's the disqualification. Otherwise, it does not become a disqualification. Yes. Secondly, in E, a salaried employee, it should be is a salaried employee. I would persuade you to consider those two further amendments.
Thank you, Honorable Tiende. Maybe for the people with for the members with other amendments, I have here that has been given by the speaker from Honorable Tiende. Honorable Kaluma, I would like to know whether yours is on record, the amendments, so that we also consider to be on record. Honorable Kajwang.
Honorable Mbaya, we are in this house to legislate. We cannot be derogative to ourselves. First, whatever it is, we cannot start abusing ourselves. It looks very bad out there that we are abusing ourselves. The only point we are making, Honorable Pukose, is that a member of parliament, by its own nature, by act of the constitution itself, cannot work as a CEO or an administrator in this way. So every legislation must have an intention. What would be the intention of this if you ask Deputy Speaker? What would be the intention of a statement to say that something which is obvious and which is constitutional, we specifically refer to it if we are not just derogating ourselves, if we are not just abusing ourselves? This is what I'm saying. Nothing should proceed from this house in which we are saying that there is something so wrong with member of parliament, that a member of parliament is so questionable that he should not be able to do this thing, yet the constitution itself has said so. So what is it? Otherwise, we are going to produce legislation in which we put ourselves at the point of did I say, if I say foolishness, that would be unparliamentary. No, it's not unparliamentary. We would be foolish. Yes, we would be foolish. We would just be foolish, yes. Unwise.
Yes, that's better. Honorable Kaluma, I would like to hear your amendments, if they're on record, because what I have here is different.
Yes, Honorable Chair, I support the amendment by the committee. And I was thinking, Honorable Chair, yes, Honorable Chair, I was thinking that the best way to approach it, Honorable Chair, I was personally proposing complete deletion of 7, but I'm persuaded that the amendment by the committee will improve this provision. I would therefore suggest, in line with our standing orders, that you first put the question in relation to the amendment by the committee. Then you allow me room to move an amendment instead of deleting to delete 7A, B, and to add the word has at D, so that it is a person who has been convicted, not is convicted who is unqualified. So I would propose, Chair, that the right procedure is that you put question on the amendment by the committee, then you permit me to move the amendment instead of deleting.
So, Chair, Honorable Kaluma, you'll be moving an amendment, a further amendment to the amendment. That then will be a bit neater. Okay, members, I will put the question that clause 7 be amended as proposed by the chair. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Honorable Gekaria.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Just to get your guidance, Honorable Chair, so that for purposes of procedure and moving fast, what Honorable Kaluma was asking is for the chair to move a further amendment as the chair, if he agrees with Kaluma. Instead, if that would happen, then it would be faster, instead of asking again Kaluma to go and move a further amendment. And also what Otiende had also requested, if the chair so agrees, that is. Thank you, Honorable Speaker, Chair.
Honorable Baya.
Of the debate, and so that we understand how we are moving. It's important that if Honorable Kaluma had amendment, and I heard the Speaker very clearly say that there are certain amendments that he has approved to be brought, although they came late, but he has approved that they be brought to the House. I am happy if those are brought so that we do not make amendments, or we do not open the whole act for amendments because the Speaker has said he has allowed amendments. If we did that, then everybody would introduce amendments in this bill on the floor, and it is procedural.
Honorable Dawood. Just to guide the House members, there were some members who submitted amendments late. By the standing orders, it was after 2 p.m. You should do it before. But the Speaker made a ruling that even if they were seen after, we will indulge them. But we have to see the amendments. That is the point. We have to see. Right now, the amendments I have is only for Dr. Otiende Amolo. Member for North Imenti.
Chair, I would request the chair to make a slight amendment what Dr. Amolo has suggested, and Honorable Kaluma, where it says, is a member of parliament who can get it on resignation. You see, you could be appointed to be a Director General at that time you are an MP, but you can resign from being an MP to become a Director General. So, Chair, that could be done as well, a further amendment. But that would have to be done by the Chair himself.
Member for Diwa.
Chair, when you have resigned, you are not a member of parliament. So that's out of question. But I wanted you to give us a guidance. These amendments coming from the floor all the time, we will not finish this. But if they were submitted, by as the Speaker said, let's have that guideline.
Yes, let's have them.
Honorable Kaluma.
Yes, Chair, I'd submitted my amendments through the committee clerk, Madam Alina Hiro. I think she has gone to check them at the desk of the Speaker. But may I then say this, Honorable Chair? Honorable Chair, may I therefore move, as we wait for that amendment, that you declare Clause 7A and B outright unconstitutional and they be annulled from this bill. And I'm saying this, Chair. These clauses say that if you are a member of parliament, in clause A, and in B, if you are a member of the county assembly, you cannot be the Director General of the authority being proposed here. Honorable Chair, I'm saying this is unconstitutional under a petition because under Article 260 of the Constitution, a member of parliament and a member of the county assembly are state officers. And under Chapter 6 of the Constitution, a member of parliament and a member of the county assembly are already disqualified from holding any other position from which they can be in gainful employment. So that this provision flies in the face of the Constitution straight away. That without even amendment, Honorable Speaker, Honorable Chair, I request that this Clause 7A and Clause B be removed. Lastly, on Clause D, Honorable Chair, when you say is convicted, when you are drawing a law in relation to qualifications, this means you'll be waiting for them to be convicted upon taking the job. And so it should be, has been convicted. So if they are not being amended as we wait for our copy of the proposed amendments, Honorable Chair, would you declare them null and void, in which case you don't need to nullify them yourselves, and you put the question, we pass this clause with those amendments.
Honorable Kaluma, you know you're trying to bring your amendments through the back because I've not seen them, but I'll give Honorable Elachi, then I'll give the Chair.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, I just want to support that indeed for this House, looking at how members of parliament have been treated in other appointees, where we made sure we said a member of parliament cannot be either a commissioner until 5 years, it has really affected many of the members who have left this House. So the moment you bring it in, if you walk into a judge's court and he decides to interpret it in his way, Madam Speaker, you will, any member who is now no longer a member of this House will not get the job. So, Madam Speaker, we must agree in this House that that is a clause that will ensure, it will infringe in very many people's lives who would wish to do other jobs when they are finished being members of parliament. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Chair Committee of Health.
Chair, having listened to the Speaker's ruling, I think the Speaker said there were those who presented the amendments late, and he approved those amendments, and I think they should be with the office of the Speaker. If a member wanted to make a further amendment, the Speaker also said they should also consult the Chair. In D, where Honorable Otiende Amolo had proposed a further amendment that has been convicted, I think that is an improvement to what is there. And in E, is a salaried employee. I think those two amendments I agree with them. When you look at A and B, this has been picked from the Constitution. And I think whether we use it or don't use it, it doesn't make any difference, because in the Constitution 2010, it speaks of a person shall not qualify for position if you are a member of parliament or a member of county assembly or county executive committee. So for me, I think I want to agree with the further amendment by Honorable Otiende Amolo on D, if he can move it properly, neatly, and then E and D and E. I would wish that he can move those amendments and then we prosecute it. It's just procedure. Otiende, you can move those amendments.
Honorable Chair, Honorable Pukose, if I hear you right, Honorable Pukose, and maybe Honorable Gladys, please give us a minute. I talk to Honorable Pukose for a minute. Chair, if I hear you, you are agreeing with the amendments that have been proposed on D. On D. Honorable Kaluma, I have your amendments from the table office, and yours was to delete the whole entire clause 7. Yes? Clause 7, that it was to be a deletion. Yes? Because what I think, Chair, are you agreeing with the amendments that you move as a further amendment yourself by Honorable Otiende? On D, yes? On D and E. And Honorable Kaluma? Yes, you have the mic.
Yes, Chair, I'd proposed, as I said before, the complete deletion of clause 7. But you remember I said, if there is improvement, we may go from deletion to sustaining it. And that is why I was saying, I would support the amendment. It's a give and take at this stage.
So if Honorable Otiende moves,
yes,
do you support Honorable Otiende's amendment?
I will support.
Yes.
Even the committee,
if Honorable Otiende's amendment is taken up by the committee, you drop yours. Is that what you're saying?
I will drop mine, but I will also seek a further amendment to clause 7 by deleting A and B. Okay. And if they don't do that, you will allow me to move it.
Honorable Otiende.
Further amendment is a simple one. We come to clause 7, D. Instead of saying is, we delete is and say has been. In E, add the word at the beginning is a salaried employee. I so move, Madam Chair.
Therefore, members, I propose the question that clause 7 be amended as proposed by Honorable Otiende Amolo. As further amended by Honorable Otiende Amolo. Honorable members, there is a leeway for debate at this point, so it's okay. Yes. Honorable TJ, what is out of order?
What's out of order is how we are following our standing orders. We are in a conundrum. Honorable Otiende Amolo has made a proposal, and he had already written that letter, and you have it. So his amendment is correct. Honorable Kaluma also has an amendment, and he has written it, and you are with him. Whether it is deletion or not, if you go to the standing orders, the priority one must follow, in my view, is that we start with what is the hierarchy of those amendments. So if we start with Honorable Otiende's, then as further amended by Honorable Kaluma, because Kaluma intended to delete the whole thing. So he can be heard on any of those sections that we are talking about, just in case that he had written his letter to the Speaker, which he has confirmed he did. And so I want to confirm what has not been said here also, is that if you say that members of Parliament and members of County Assembly should not do or should do something, it is also discriminatory. Why are you choosing members of Parliament? Why are you not talking about cabinet ministers? It is discriminatory. The law itself is unconstitutional because it is discriminatory. You are picking. You're choosing on them. Why would you want to legislate against yourself? Why on earth would you want to legislate yourself against something which is discriminatory?
Chair.
Honorable TJ, I think you're preempting because we have agreed, and I heard Honorable Kaluma very well, that Honorable Tiende will move a further amendment on D, and you will move yours as amended on A and B. Then we will put a global question. Yeah, let us proceed like that, honorable members. So I will not. So, honorable members, how we will proceed? I will put the question on the further amendment by Honorable Tiende. Then I will allow Honorable Kaluma to move the amendment on A and B. Then a further amendment. Then we will put a global question. Okay? So I will now put the question that clause 7 be further amended as proposed by Honorable Tiende Amolo. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I will now allow Honorable Kaluma to move.
Honorable Chair, I hope Honorable Kajwang is learning. Honorable Chair, I beg to move that clause 7 of the bill be further amended by deleting clause 7A and deleting clause 7B. Honorable Chair, I move this amendment because having clause A and B are superfluous.
So,
these two offices
Kaluma,
are already prohibited.
You are moving the deletion of paragraph A and paragraph B
only
of clause 7.
Only.
Good. I now propose the question that clause 7 be further amended as proposed by Honorable Peter Kaluma. I put the question that clause 7 be further amended as proposed by Honorable Peter Kaluma. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I will now put the global question that clause 7 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 8.
I propose the question that clause 8 be part of the bill. Mover. Chair.
Honorable Chair, I move that clause 8 be amended as per the order paper. Clause 8A in subclause 1 by deleting the words Kenya drugs and substituting therefore Kenya health products and technologies regulatory. This in line with the name of the board, which should reflect the amended title of the bill and name the authority as proposed for amendment. In B, by deleting subclause 2 and substituting therefore the following new subclause 2, the board shall comprise A, a non-executive chairperson appointed by the president and who shall 1, be a registered pharmacist of good standing with a degree in pharmacy, 2, have at least 10 years experience in the pharmaceutical sector, 5 of which shall be a senior management level. B, the principal secretary in the ministry for time being responsible for health or a representative designated in writing. C, principal secretary, the ministry for the time being responsible for finance or representative designated in writing. D, the director general for health or a representative designated in writing. E, one person nominated by the Pharmaceutical Society of Kenya. F, one person nominated by the Kenya Pharmaceutical Association. Those are 2 different associations. One is degree holders, the other one is diploma. G, one person nominated by the Kenya Medical Association. H, one person not being a governor with knowledge and experience in health products and technologies nominated by the Council of County Governors to represent the interests of counties. I, one person not being a public officer representing consumer protection nominated by the Consumer Federation of Kenya. And J, the Director General of the authority, who shall be a secretary and an ex-official member of the board. The composition of the board should comply with the Mongoso Code of Governance for State Corporations in terms of numbers, skill mix, and professional expertise, which should include all relevant players involved in the matters of health products and technologies. In C, delete clause 3 and substitute therefore the following new subclause 3. 3, that the cabinet secretary shall appoint the members of the board under subsection E, F, G, H, and I by notice in the Gazette. The members of the board members are not state officers, and hence their appointments does not require approval by Parliament. It's sufficient that the cabinet secretary notifies the public of the appointments in the Kenya Gazette. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. I now propose a question that clause 8 be amended as proposed by the chair. Honorable Baya, are you on this? Okay. Honorable Oluoch, are you on this?
Chair, mine was on clause 8.7, which is not part of what the chair has proposed to amend. So I would be asking that I be given an opportunity to prosecute on clause 8.
Okay, let us deal with the chair's amendment first. Honorable Kaluma.
Yeah, Chair, these amendments by the chair is diluting very good provisions already put in terms of qualifications and the appointment process for both the chairperson and the members. Honorable Chair, you know these board chairs and the other appointments have been tribalized in the recent past. Honorable Chair, we were just debating the other day here the matter of employees at Kenya Revenue Authority. Honorable Chair, you see also what is happening at Teacher Service Commission, where some areas have employed teachers up to those who graduated in 2022, regions like mine up to 203. Honorable Chair, this is why we need, for instance, clause 8, subclause 3, which says when you are going to deal with the appointment of the chairperson and even the members of this important board, and let us agree it is very important, let us subject them to parliamentary approval to confirm that those ideals undergirding public service in terms of the face of the nation and the qualification set are adhered to. Chair, if you look at clause 8, subclause 2 in the bill, it is very clear the president is going to appoint. But the qualification criteria has also been set very clearly under A, 1, and 2. What the committee is doing by the amendments to that provision, if you look at them, is to dilute these qualification criteria. And Chair, just look at them. Do you want me to read them? Honorable, in 8.2a, a non-executive chairperson appointed by the president who shall, at 1, be a registered pharmacist of good standing with a degree in pharmacy and have at least 10 years experience in pharmaceutical sector, 5 of which shall be at a managerial level. Chair, if you go to how it is being amended now, 2A1 is being reiterated. I hope the chair is with me. It is a repetition. And then 2A2 have at least 10 years experience in pharmaceutical sector, 5 of which shall be at senior managerial level. Chair, the question is, what is being amended? Nothing. So you leave the bill as it is. I thank you, Chair.
Chair, Honorable Kaluma, if I look at the bill and the amendment doesn't have to be in 2A. There are other sections under 8 that are being amended. Yeah? From B all the way to J. Chair.
Chair, my issue is an issue of neatness. If you are not amending by deletion or substitution, you don't need to amend.
Honorable Tiende.
Yeah.
I had proposed amendments which I'll be moving, and I've actually shared with Dr. Pukose, and I think we're in agreement. But only on the issue that has been spoken to first. The difference I see in what's being amended, proposed for amendment, and what's there is the idea of approval of Parliament. In the bill as presented, there's the requirement of the Cabinet appointing with the approval of Parliament. The essence of the amendment is to remove that bit of approval of Parliament. Secondly, Chair, when I identify the clauses that are allowed for the Cabinet Secretary to appoint without, it's E, F, G, H, and I. As I see it, those are clauses where other bodies will have nominated the person. So that even if we don't approve by Parliament, the responsibilities for those other bodies. It would actually be wrong for, say, the Pharmaceutical Society of Kenya to nominate their person, then it's brought here, then we reject, So for me, that's why I have no problem with amendments as proposed. But with their permission, Madam Chair, could I move the amendments that I had proposed, and it's only in one clause?
Not yet, Honorable Tiende Molo.
Thank you.
In fact, yourself and Honorable Luoch will do, but let us prosecute this amendment first. Honorable Makali Mulu.
Giving me another one. All right. Honorable Chair, I've listened to the proposed amendments, and I have concerns with the chairperson's qualifications. Honorable Chair, while I do agree that we need very specific qualifications for the CEO, I think for the chair of the board normally is for policy and strategic direction. On a serious note, we have so many parastatals in this country. I don't think we've gone to that extent of dividing the qualifications for the chair. Why do we want to treat this special board as a special board? I think for the chair, let's leave it open. Someone who can really chair a board and provide policy and strategic direction for this important authority. And it will be done. I really would want to plead with the chairperson to drop this requirement where you have a CEO who is a pharmacist, and you want a chairperson who is also a pharmacist. We are going to have a conflict of interest and more so. A lot of, and it's an executive chair, really. Thank you, chairperson.
Chair. Before the chair, Honorable Gikaria.
Honorable Chair, I stand to support the amendment by the chair. Honorable Speaker, if I look at even in other areas, I think the president, actually it came today in the morning when we were looking at a bill. It is the president who appoints a chairperson, and that should not change with this only. And others, it is where he appoints the chairperson. So I totally agree with the chair, Dr. Pukose, on this, that we leave it. And secondly, as Kaluma had indicated that there is nothing to amend, I think the order paper reads very clearly that by deleting subclause 2 and substituting with a new, so I think what Honorable Dr. Pukose, the chair of Health, has said I totally agree with it. Thank you, Honorable.
Member for Seme.
Chair, there's a principle here I would like us to look at. It's very general, not just here. The issue where we are saying that the chair needs to be a pharmacist, and then we put years of experience in management. The truth is, most of us can actually manage. And when you go to get management, you can manage anything. But the other truth is, if you are managing something where you have an experience in, it is totally different. In fact, if you have people at a higher level, say the chairman's level, who has no inkling in what the technical issue is, basically the people who then run the institution are actually the directors. And many times we have experienced, we have seen it in the NHF, we have seen it anywhere, where they actually misdirect the chair because the chair depends on them for understanding the intricacies. So what I support is that at this level of chair, the need for management and experience in management is key. But what makes that important is your past experience in the same field. So I think it's a principle that we should hold when we'll be having others. So actually, that was the committee's position, and therefore I support the committee's position.
Honorable Elachi.
Chair, while I agree and disagree, this is a board. And in every board, we believe that every person brings in different ideas and how to build this board. Now, you've given us all who have just pharmacists. What about the trends that are happening in the country? What about an IT person? What about, because I believe in every board, that is why the boards are put, you must have different, you must have a financier, you must have, but if we put everyone from one, and let me ask, the ones who are going to be appointed by the cabinet secretary, so those ones, and you know today you have this one, tomorrow you have a different one. I believe the chair can have good governance.
Thank you, Honorable Elachi. Honorable Baya.
I want to agree with Honorable Dr. Nyikal, who has been once a principal secretary and also Director General of Medical Services. Gentlemen and honorable members, I want to say this. If you look at the people that are coming in, E, F, G, H, there are people who are well versed in these areas, very well. You do not want to put a chair that who will be the only person who has no knowledge on pharmacists. He will be swamped by the ideas of these people. And you also do not want to put a director general with a chair who may not even understand. I want to push that principle that pharmacists manage this organization in such a way that the board chair needs to even be a stronger pharmacist than any other person there for us to ensure the problems we have in this country in some of these parastatals is where we have people who have no knowledge in the areas they are appointed in completely managing entities, and you think that you'll have efficiency. Honorable Chair, we need to put our stamp down and tell them that pharmacists, if we are going to have a director general who is a pharmacist, the chairman should even be a more qualified pharmacist. Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Member for Nyeri Town, Honorable Maina Mathenge.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, I'm a member of the committee and I'm supporting the chair's and the committee's amendment. Chair, the practice of pharmacy is not any other ordinary practice. We are putting our own lives on the line. We are putting the lives of our people on the line. Chair, the presence of a knowledgeable person in this area, in terms of the decisions of the board, is key and is paramount, and the knowledge and the experience should match the knowledge of all the other technical people in that area. In
Honorable
fact,
CNN, stop shouting at the chair.
Superior.
Have your card ready, I will see you. Honorable DMM, you are finished?
Thank you, Chair.
Okay, the next one I'll give the member for Kiminini, Honorable Bisau Kakai.
Thank you, Chair. While
I support what the chair has brought on the floor, I'd also like to state that the problem we have today in the medical sector is an issue where we talk about pharmacists without looking at the end of the chain. If we are talking of a pharmacist with some medical supply chain experience, is good. Today we are talking of medicine in our warehouses, whereby yes, you get a pharmacist, drugs are there, they can even tell you the composition in terms of chemical composition, but to move it from point A to point B, to ensure that there's a steady supply chain. So to me, Chair, I would wish that yes, we talk of a chair who is a pharmacist, but with some medical supply chain experience, so that you merge the two, we get a chair who understands the composition of the drugs and the items, but can also ensure that the items move to the place.
You've made your point. Member for Tinderet.
Chair, I rise to support the chair of the committee and what the majority have just put it. The problem we have in KEPSA is a result of appointing non-professional officers, people who do not understand some of the issues that are going on. If you don't have a pharmacist to understand pharmacology and the drug chain in the whole sector, it will actually be a problem. I want to ask that the members, we support what the chair has just put across, and it is actually very self-explanatory and is very clear. I thank you, Madam Chair.
Honorable Kaluma.
Chair, Clause 8 speaks to the appointment of a non-executive chair by the President. Remember, Chair, we had said the Director General is the Chief Executive. It's a technical person. The non-executive chair, the word non-executive is being put there so that it's not in terms of execution or enforcement. This is to give leadership and to chair. We cannot be restricting the President so much that the board cannot operate other than with a pharmacist. Chair, I anticipate a board. If you can chair this house in plenary the way you are doing so well, Chair, why can't you chair this board? Yes. We are seeing a situation here, Chair, if you look at Clause 5, Clause 6 going down, where work is being made for pharmacists. The initial Clause 5 included even engineers, because we had even medical technological appliances and equipment. That one has been deleted. Pharmacy everywhere, including in chairing a meeting. What are you doing now, Chair?
You want to be informed by the Deputy Speaker?
I request that we either delete
Honorable
this,
Kaluma,
or Chair, you allow me
you want to be informed?
Move my amendment to delete this entire
Do you want
clause.
to be informed by Honorable Gladys Boss, the Deputy Speaker?
The Honorable Speaker taught me I'll always be glad to be
Yes,
informed.
Honorable Gladys Boss.
Yeah, thank you, Honorable Speaker, Chairperson. Yes, I think we are losing the objective of this particular bill. The objective of this bill is to move Kenya from maturity level 1 to maturity level 3 at a minimum, but we actually want to achieve maturity level 4. The reason why we have not achieved maturity level 3 is because, according to the WHO global benchmarking tool, we are allowing pharmacy technologists to hold certain positions and to be involved in the regulation. All we are doing by putting the word pharmacist is to ensure that we meet the WHO standards. That way Kenya can become competitive and be able to sell its drugs manufactured in Kenya to the entire world. At the moment, we are only selling to Uganda and maybe Burundi. And if you, just for you to tell you, Kenya's regulatory capacity now, as our law is, if we don't amend this today, we are going to remain at the maturity level 1. I can tell you which countries are maturity level 1. Somalia, Burundi, Uganda, and Kenya. Currently, the countries that are maturity level 3 is Egypt, South Africa, Tanzania, Ghana, and Nigeria. And today, Tanzania, within the next 6 months, will be maturity level 4. Within the next 6 months, Rwanda shall be maturity level 4. So Kenya shall lag behind and never be able to export it's drugs manufactured here in Kenya. All because, and vaccines, all because we have not made sure that we are at WHO standards. So this is not trying to put anyone out of work. We are just trying simply to become a pharmaceutical manufacturing country that is capable of exporting. That is the bigger picture. We don't want Kenya to lag behind on this particular point. And in fact, if you want to confirm, Kenya has been trying since the last parliament to achieve this status. And in fact, I can bring the attention of Honorable Kaluma to what we call Kenya's Strategic Health Plan. If you read it, since the last parliament, we've been trying to achieve that. And I must commend the chairperson of the Health Committee because he is trying to make sure that we achieve something we have failed to do in the last 6 years. And for that, I kindly persuade Honorable Kaluma to rethink and be guided.
Honorable members, allow me to put the question on this. I put the question that clause 8 be amended as proposed by the chair. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. We have another amendment. Honorable Tiende Amolo, your amendment by this being carried, yours will fall because you wanted to amend you wanted to amend paragraph J. And the import of this being carried is that yours is dropped. Honorable Oluoch, yours falls. Honorable Tiende, I have your amendment here, and you say the amendment is on clause 2, which has already been amended by 8.2 by that amendment by the chair being carried.
Chair, I actually have the benefit of having discussed this with Dr. Pukose, and we are in agreement. It's only that procedurally we had to move. I had initially thought that the suggestion by Honorable Gikaria would carry us faster. That is, where there's an amendment proposed by the chair, and there's a discussion to improve it, if we would then allow the chair himself to move a further amendment, rather than even me moving an amendment after, it would be faster. And my understanding, Chair, my understanding first, there's a grave clerical error in this amendment number 8.2. If you look at the original, the provisions in the bill, it does not amend H. H reads exactly the way it reads in the bill. And therefore, my amendment, my further amendment would still be relevant in respect of the bill itself. And my amendment on that bill, and we're in agreement with Dr. Pukose, is only this. The clause H, 8.2H, mistakenly talks of Council of County Governors. While we all know that...
Which one are you reading on about Tiende? Is it the bill or the amendment? Because we've already put the question on the amendment by the chair. I'm
on the bill. And they read exactly the same. In the bill, 8.2H is exactly what is 8.2J of the bill. On that, there is no amendment. What was amended was the numbering. And therefore, the substantive amendment on 8.2J still remains relevant.
It doesn't remain relevant, Honorable Otiende, because I know you know this. We've already carried the amendment by the chair. So we cannot refer then to J on the bill, because the amendment has been passed. Honorable Chair. Chair.
Honorable Tiende's amendment is that there is no Council of County Governors. It's supposed to be the Council of Governors. So, to represent the interests of counties. Okay? So I think it is just a typo error which can be corrected through a further amendment, because we cannot say a council of county governors. It's a council.
But Honorable Pukose,
Yes.
to guide the House,
So
because
we need your guidance,
we
Madam
cannot now be talking about clause 8 on the order paper. 8.2 on the order paper. We already substituted by carrying your amendment.
Okay.
So you cannot refer to J. In fact, the J on your amendment is on the Director General of the
No,
authority.
I'm on H. H.
But the amendment for Honorable Tiende is on J.
No, it is on H. It is on H. It is what is now H on my amendment. He wants to do a further amendment to H.
But you cannot do a further amendment if you have.
You know, I heard Honorable Tiende that you had already spoken to the chair. I thought maybe chair would have moved it at that point. At that point. By now, it is actually overtaken by events. Honorable Owen Bayer.
If Honorable Otiende's amendment comes in, we are actually amending what we've already passed. And that's the import of carrying the amendments by the chair. This should have been done much earlier so that it is incorporated in the amendment. But as it is now,
overtaken by events.
It is overtaken by events.
Honorable Tiende.
It is overtaken by events.
Honorable Tiende, are we on the same page? Give him the microphone.
As a point of order, Chair, first of all, I think we're becoming more rigid than the way we were guided to proceed. Because that rigidity will lead us to spoil this mood. Madam Chair, I have my written amendments, and the Speaker allowed me to move on them. When the Chair spoke, you guided that I wait for the Chair to finish, then we finish with it, then I will move my amendments. Now you are telling me I cannot even move the amendments.
Honorable Tiende.
That leads to that rigidity that does not help us.
Honorable Tiende, I think I'll be the last person to be accused of rigidity. All we have been doing this afternoon is actually accommodating members this afternoon, the whole time. And Honorable Otiende, I have your amendments here. And your amendment is on part 2J, AI and J of the bill. And it is totally different when the proposal and the amendment of the chair has already been carried. If the import is that your amendment falls, we cannot now say to reduce rigidity that we go against our own standing orders. We have another amendment by Honorable Oluoch, which you will prosecute because it is not impacted by what has already been passed. Yeah, so I think let us make progress. Honorable Gekaria, what is out of order?
Otiende, don't do that. Honorable Chair, you have guided us very well, and we appreciate. Actually, at one point, Honorable TJ Kajwang said the way you are moving, you can even be a chair of anything. So, Honorable Chair, I think what we just need to do is to accommodate each other and accept like what Honorable Dr. Otiende is saying, since they had agreed with the chair, and the chair then needs to assist us by moving what Dr. Otiende had indicated.
Order members, let us hear each one member at a time. Member for Seme.
The principle I know that if one amendment is carried, which nullifies the other, is if that amendment actually removes what was going to be amended. But in this case, what Honorable Tiende intended to amend is still there. And actually it is not a very big amendment, and it's actually just technical. It still exists in the bill. Yeah, except it's the renumbering where it was J, now it is H.
Honorable member for Seme.
Yes.
Let me just guide a bit.
Or let
Honorable
us hear
members,
what, yeah.
we have been very good this afternoon. I don't want us to go south. So if I want to just say, just to give the way forward, because we have already replaced, you cannot now read 8.2 we have put a new section altogether by having the amendment of the chair. So any member who had amendments on 2 has nothing to amend. And no, honorable member for Seme, the only recourse for this will actually be to recommit. The only recourse for this specific one will be to recommit. Yeah, it's the only way out. I will allow Honorable Oluoch to move. But before Honorable Oluoch, what is it, Honorable Omboko?
Thank you. And Honorable Chair, I want Otiende to listen to me and this court. Indeed, the amendments of Otiende Molo, as you remember, had been spoken on by the substantive speaker. But indeed, you are further explaining well that the fact that the chair went early makes his amendments not to fall. But the way, the direction you are taking for me is good, because we need to retain the good understanding which we knew that this particular bill will have, and therefore consensus will be important. So if that amendment, and we have already seen it, is a small one that is actually more of just technical error and grammar, then let's carry it to recommittal so that we don't lose the spirit that otherwise we were moving with. And that's my comments on the chair.
That amendment can be carried.
Yeah.
Honorable Kaluma, I want to bring this to a close.
Chair, I'm relying on your great wisdom this afternoon. And Chair, this afternoon, you've given members a lot of latitude. And this is how legislation is best done. Chair, I hear Honorable Otiende Molo to be saying that the clause he desired to amend does still exist in its substance, word for word. And if it is so, I hear him to be saying the only thing which has happened is that it has been renumbered following the amendment by the committee. Instead of recommitting, Chair, may I crave your indulgence that because that amendment will actually improve the bill when it will be enacted into law, we allow Honorable Otiende to move his amendment, but in amended form.
What will happen, Honorable Kaluma, is that the recourse, Honorable Otiende, will be a recommittal, which is also an option in this house. I mean, it's not out of reach. But we cannot remedy it as it is right now. So we will then do a recommittal at the end. I will then allow Honorable Oluoch to prosecute his amendment.
Honorable Chair, I want to move an amendment to clause 8, particularly subclause 7, as published on the order paper. And the import of these, which I have tried to persuade the chair through the deputy speaker, is to add a language of the Constitution that includes, after regional balance, fair representation of persons with disabilities. And I see the chair is in concurrence that the proposed amendment be carried. I so move.
I therefore propose the question that clause 8 be further amended as proposed by Honorable Oluoch. I put the question. I therefore put the question that clause 8 be amended as proposed by Honorable Oluoch. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 8 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 9.
I propose the question that clause 9 be part of the bill. Mover, that's the chair.
Honorable Chair, I propose that clause 9 be amended as per the order paper. This is a provision contradicts the legal framework for appointment of the chairperson, board members, and CEOs of state corporations or state autonomous government agencies. The chairperson, board members, and director general of the authority are not state officers and hence do not need to subscribe to an oath.
I then propose the question that clause 9 be deleted as proposed by the chair.
Put the question.
Honorable Kaluma.
Chair, this is the one amendment I support without further amendment. Chair, you can imagine the number of authorities, the number of boards, the number of parastatals and state corporations we have. If we were to require that the chairperson and the members of the board should swear some oath through the Chief Justice, would the Chief Justice be doing any other work than swearing board members? This is the kind of elevation in which I agree with
Honorable Kaluma, where we are agreeing, we make progress.
On this one,
we
put
go
the
on.
question.
Thank you. I will then put the question that clause 9 be deleted as proposed by the chair. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 10.
I propose the question that clause 10 be part of the bill. Mover.
Honorable Chair, I propose that clause 10 be amended as per the order paper. This is to correct the cross-reference as clause 11 makes provision for removal from office of the members of the board of the authority.
I therefore propose the question that clause 10 be amended as proposed by the chair.
Put the question.
I put the question then that clause 10 be amended as proposed by the chair. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 10 is amended be part of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 11.
This has no amendment. I propose the question that clause 11 be part of the bill. I now put the question that clause 11 be part of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 12.
I propose the question that clause 12 be part of the bill. Mover.
Honorable Chair, I propose that clause 12 be amended by the order paper. Clause 12 of the bill amended by A, inserting the following paragraphs immediately after paragraph E. A, regulate the disposal of health products and technologies, monitor the market for the presence of unregistered and illegal health products and technologies, conduct analytical tests of health products and technologies. This is to make provision for the function of disposal, analytical testing, and monitoring of the market by the authority. In B, deleting paragraph F and substituting therefore the following new paragraph F that ensure continuous monitoring of the safety of health products and technologies regulated under this Act through analysis of reports on adverse reactions and events, including any other health product and technology use-related issues, and take appropriate regulatory actions when necessary. Honorable Chair, this is to express align to the WHO requirement on the establishment of a national vigilance system. In E, deleting paragraph G and substituting therefore the following new paragraph G, regulate clinical trials and ensure that clinical trial protocols of health products and technologies are being assessed according to the prescribed ethical and professional criteria and defined standards, including mandatory bioequivalence studies. This is to anchor the oversight of clinical trials in the law as recommended by the WHO. Madam Chair, in D, inserting the following new paragraphs immediately after paragraph G, that is GA, approve the use of any unregistered medical substance for purpose of clinical trials, emergency use, and compassionate use. In GB, carry out pharmacovigilance audits and inspections in order to ensure compliance with good pharmacovigilance practices and the prescribed requirements. Honorable Chair and members, this is to provide for approval of health products and technologies during emergencies and to provide for pharmacovigilance, which check the safety of health products and technologies. In E, deleting N and substitute therefore the following new paragraph N, appoint inspectors and order inspection of manufacturing premises, medical devices and establishments, importing and exporting agents, wholesalers, distributors, pharmacies, including those in health facilities and clinics, retail outlets, and any other premises and vessels subject to regulation under this Act. This is to specify the premises subject to inspection by the authority. In F, inserting the following new paragraph after paragraph O, this is to conduct national regulatory authority to lot release, official authority patch release of specified biologicals to ensure the quality, safety, and efficacy of biological products through a regulatory release system in compliance with established approaches, policies, guidelines, procedures, and in line with World Health Organization and internationally recognized guidelines. Carry out and promote research related to medicines and health products. This is to enable the conduct of research by the authority and the conduct of lot releases, which are a key component in the regulation of production of vaccines. G, inserting the following paragraphs after paragraph Q. That will be QA, which ensure that all health products and technologies manufactured in, imported into, or exported from the country, including through parallel importation, conform to prescribed standards of quality, safety, and efficacy. QP, enforce the prescribed standards of quality, safety, and efficacy of health products.
I therefore propose a question that clause 12 be amended as proposed by the chair. Honorable Mayaka.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I just want to, in particular, support the insertion of Part D, which in essence says that it gives approval for use of any unregistered medicinal substance for purposes of clinical trials, emergency use, and compassionate use. Honorable Speaker, the reason why I'm supporting this particular clause is because it will now allow for substances like cannabis for medicinal purpose, famously known as bangi, to be able to be used by cancer patients. And Honorable Speaker, the reason why I'm very passionate and advocating for this is because, Honorable Speaker, I had an auntie who was a cancer patient. And one of the things that really kept her going was because she was able to use some bangi substance. And so by inserting this clause, it actually allows our hospitals, the home care providers to be able to use unregistered medicinal substance that is able to assist these people to continue to be able to maintain and have You can't oppose.
I think you've made your point, but we are on the amendment by the chair.
That's the amendment by the chair. I'm just giving more meat into why the
Yeah, but do not debate.
should be carried.
Honorable Mayaka, do not debate. The bill has already gone through second reading. Do not debate. Honorable Kangogo.
Madam Chair, if I had the honorable member saying that you are inserting a clause to legalize bangi as a medicine, then I oppose, madam. Then I oppose.
Honorable Kangogo.
So,
Honorable Kangogo. Honorable Kangogo, the amendment by the chair has not touched on such an amendment, but Honorable Irene Mayaka has the freedom to contribute to the same using her own words. But I want to confirm that cannabis or bangi is still illegal in the country. Honorable Owen Bayer.
Honorable Speaker, I think that statement by Honorable Mayaka should be expunged from record. You know, it's self-incriminating. She's saying she did an illegal thing, and she wants this house to actually be used as a springboard for such. I think she needs to withdraw that statement from the record of the House. Otherwise, the House should not be seen to be condoning illegal things. It's neat for you to do that. You are a young, and she should not use this law and besmirch it. Irene, I know you're an intelligent person, but I also want to teach you a little thing. Please, it's not prudent. It's not parliamentary to say such things in Parliament. Use parliamentary language. That's not part of it. And it's good that you withdraw.
Honorable Owen, do not address Honorable Irene Mayaka. Address the chair.
I like her, you know.
Honorable Kaluma, are you on the same or on the amendment?
Chair, the amendments by the committee are very detailed. And maybe, honorable members, I need to remind you that this particular clause is at the very stem of this bill and this law, if enacted. The only clarification the chair could have been kind to give us is number one, Chair, in the proposed amendment D, GA, what is this thing for compassionate use? Could it be explained to us now that it is being used in a technical context? Number two, Chair, this is also the part where we should be including all the functions currently put in the Pharmacy and Poisons Board under the act we are seeking to repeal in the 7th schedule, and the authority established under the Food, Drugs, and Scheduled Substances Act. Could the chair also confirm to us that those functions vested in those bodies under those acts, now that we are repealing those acts, have been incorporated that? Even as he explained to us, these medicines for compassionate use, what are they? Are they for love or what are they? Or Finland?
Honorable Chair. Honorable Chair, any reaction to the members? Okay, I will put the question.
Compassionate use.
Honorable Pukose, clarify on record, because that is what members wanted to hear. Honorable Chair, just clarify and be on record.
Chair, I would want them to specify which of those clauses. Which clause? Pardon? ADA.
Order, Honorable Kaluma. Order, members, you cannot be answering each other across the aisle like that. Let me read for you, Honorable Pukose. I saw you are a bit distracted. He's referring to Part DGA. And the issue is approve the use of any unregistered medicinal substance for purposes of clinical trials, emergency use, and compassionate use. And the question is, what is compassionate use? Can you clarify that?
You know, Madam Chair, when we talk about empathy, sympathy, compassion, your patients who are terminally ill with cancer, yeah, more often you are giving them medicines to relieve their pain. It is for compassionate use. You know, I'm explaining to you, and you're asking me, Nikal is just seated next to you in your back. You would have consulted him silently, and he would have given you. But now you want the rest of the house to hear, and the nation. And, and therefore, I'm giving you, yeah, that when patients are terminally ill, they have cancer, and they have reached a stage where you're only managing the pain. Yeah, you're only managing the pain, knowing that the drugs you are giving are not going to cure that patient. So, pardon? No.
Honorable
We are
Kaluma.
talking of palliative care.
Honorable Kaluma, you know that
Okay.
is illegal in the country.
Yes. So I wouldn't want to go into that direction, Honorable Kaluma. Yes.
Honorable Nikal, I note you have an amendment. You have an amendment which will come after this.
Yes.
Yeah. Hold on.
Put the question.
Okay, honorable members, I will put the question that clause 12 be amended as proposed by the chair. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye?
Aye.
Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I will allow Honorable Nikal to prosecute your amendment before we put the global question on this clause.
Chair, mine is to amend as in the order paper, and that is under T, to amend clause 12 as in the order paper, and that is at T, 12T, responsible for its human resource and management and development. Chair, I thought this we don't need here, and I'm proposing deletion because here we are really dealing with technical issues, and I think the issue, if we bring this one here, we'll confuse issues with the management of personnel, which will come in a different act or will remain in the Pharmacy and Poisons Board for the time being. That's why I'm proposing we delete T. Did chair follow? T.
So your proposed amendment is to delete paragraph T. Yes.
Yes.
I will propose the question that clause 12 be further amended as proposed by Honorable Nikal.
Yes. To delete T, I've explained. Yeah,
Chair.
because T is dealing with human resource.
Chair. Honorable Chair.
I agree with the amendment by Honorable Nikal. It's a good amendment.
Therefore, honorable members, I put the question that clause 12 be further amended as proposed by Honorable Nikal. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye?
Aye.
Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 12 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 13.
I propose the question that clause 13 be part of the bill. Mover. Chair, you have an amendment on clause 13. Move it.
Honorable Chair, I propose that clause 13 be amended as per the order paper. This is basically to comply with WHO requirements for regulatory functions in the global benchmarking tool, especially on control of imports and exports. In deleting paragraph A and substituting therefore the following new paragraph A, collaborate with such other bodies or organizations within or outside Kenya as it may consider desirable or appropriate for the furtherance of the purpose of this act, and in B, inserting the following new paragraphs immediately after paragraph A. adopt and implement any such internationally recognized good regulatory practices. B, determine and implement effective and efficient reliance mechanisms. C, issue, suspend, withdraw, or revoke any license or compliance certificate granted under this act. D, levy, collect, and utilize fees for services rendered. E, grant or withdraw licenses and permits to manufacturers, wholesalers, retailers, importers, exporters, and distributors. AF, develop guidelines on the manufacture, import, and export, distribution, sale, and use of medical products.
All right, members, I propose the question that clause 13 be amended as proposed by the chair. Honorable Kaluma.
Yeah, Chair, the amendment at 13A is appreciated because the 13A in the bill was too restrictive. You know, it is replacing enter into association with collaborate, because going into association is different and may be too difficult. So that is an amendment, Chair, that I support, as I indeed do the other amendments. But Chair, I'm worried about some additional amendments which ought to be in 13, which I wanted to submit for the House for consideration, and then maybe the mover. Chair, when we say at 13C, which is still being retained, that receive any grants, gifts, donations, or endowments, and make legitimate disbursements from. Chair, you know some restrictions under Chapter 6 about what gifts can be received and to what amount, and there is a law on it. Chair, when you say opening bank accounts for the funds of the authority, is this necessary? And more so in an act of parliament, maybe in a schedule or in some regulations, really. But this is administrative. Chair, when you say establish, such committees as it may consider, we may leave that. But this C and D, as I support the amendments by the chair, I would, request the good chair that in the spirit of moving forward, he also considers making those additional amendments, because they may be not only superfluous, but they may also open, this board to corrupt practices. I thank you, Chair.
Honorable Kangogo.
Madam Chair, I want to support the amendment by the Honorable Chair Pukose, especially the part A of it, which brings about collaboration in line with the WHO, and also, Madam Chair, in the field of medicine, it's always good to associate and to work with professionals and best practices all over the world. So this one, I think it will add a lot of value. But again, Madam Chair, maybe the point raised by Honorable Kaluma in terms of this issue of gifts, grants, Madam, I think can be abused, Madam Chair, maybe unless we get it from the Honorable Chair Pukose to tell exactly how is this one going to be carried out. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Honorable Meli.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, I want to support the amendment by Honorable Pukose. It's more specifically on issues that have been raised by Honorable Kaluma, especially on the issue of levy, collective fees, open bank accounts, as indicated by Honorable Pukose, that this body, or the DG, is supposed to relate with other peers in other parts of the world. For example, the UN can gift this country, maybe in form of drugs, can give in form of grants, and all these others. So the institution will be receiving them officially as part of the relationship with the peers and other institutions. Two, even the exchange of information about a particular drug, a particular idea, a particular knowledge in particular field. So the fact that we are putting gifts here, putting grants here, it is not the individuals in those offices. It is to the institution of the authority led by the Director General, which are supposed to have it. I propose and support.
Honorable Martin Owino.
Chair, I also want to rise to support this, and especially the authority is not going to work in silo. It's going to have global practice. That's why even even clause B AA is very, very important to adapt and implement any such international recognized good regulatory practices. So it's going to be very wide. So I support.
Thank you. Member for Ruaraka.
Chair, I also want to support the chair. You know, Honorable Kaluma, with a lot of respect, has been stung, and once stung, twice shy. So sometimes he has very good proposals, but they could be conspiracy theories. You see, you see, the law proceeds on the premise of good faith, that these things will be legal, that these things will be from official purposes. In any case, these corporations or these agencies we are creating are amenable to our PIC. And so we will ask them back in this house, if they received, for example, money from LGBTQ, which is disturbing Honorable Kaloma, we will ask them. We will ask them, so why did you accept money from LGBTQ? Yeah. So
Thank you.
We must proceed from the promise that these things are honest.
And I also agree with you on the bias of Honorable Kaluma because of some stinging. But for this one, allow me to put the question. Honorable members, that clause, I put the question, that clause 13 be amended as proposed by the chair. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question, thus clause 13 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clauses 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20.
These ones have no amendments. I therefore propose the question that clauses 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20 be part of the bill. I now put the question that clauses 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20 be part of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. No.
Clause 21.
Honorable Kaluma, no, stop, not withdraw, because your amendments, just for your information, were not actually assented to by the Speaker. But we have been very magnanimous in inclusion as we go ahead. So I would propose that you don't address yourself to that matter because it's already passed. It's actually, yeah, we'll go to clause 21 from here.
Clause 21.
I propose the question that clause 21 be part of the bill. Mover.
Honorable Chair, I propose that clause 21 be amended as per the order paper. This in A, by deleting the subclause 1 and substituting therefore the following new subclause 1, that the board may establish such scientific advisory committees of the authority as may be necessary for the effective performance of the functions of the authority. In B, subclause 3, by deleting the words cabinet secretary and substituting therefore the words board of the authority. In C, in subclause 4, by deleting the words cabinet secretary and therefore substituting the words board of the authority. In D, by deleting the subclause 9 and substituting therefore the following new subclause 9, an advisory committee shall submit at least once every 6 months a report to the board of the authority with respect to its activities, and the board shall submit a copy of it to the cabinet secretary. Honorable Chair, this is the scientific advisory committee ought to offer technical advice and report to the board, which is its appointing authority, which then advises the cabinet secretary accordingly. Thank you, Chair.
I propose the question. Allow me to propose the question. I propose the question that clause 21 be amended as proposed by the chair. Honorable Kaluma.
I thank you, Chair. Chair, just for clarity, when we passed clause 13, we gave the authority the powers to establish such committees as it may consider necessary for the performance of its function and the exercise of its powers under the Act. Chair, why are we repeating this in respect of the board again? Because what is being proposed, Chair, under clause 21, A subclause 1, is again that the board may establish such scientific advisory committees. So now it is being called scientific advisory committees. Whatever it is, the phrase such other committees it may require for the due performance of its functions is already in clause 3. I therefore submit, Chair, with due consideration that in as much as this does not act substantively, it is superfluous for repetition. I thank you, Chair.
Honorable Makali.
Thank you, Honorable Chairperson. You know, Honorable Chair, unless we want to treat this board as a very special board, boards would normally operate with the subcommittees. We are what we call board subcommittees. And the Honorable Chair happened to have been a member of a board. So when we talk with a bit of experience. I think from what Kaluma is saying, it's important that we don't make this board look so unique that it is not it's not under the management of the other parastatals. Because we have so many parastatals in this country. They are all led by boards. So we have to be very careful not to open some floodgates here where you get requests of boards here which will be very unique, and then they bring complications. I wish that we could still adhere to the standards set in terms of board's operations.
Honorable Chair, for the committee, I think the two members are raising the same issue in terms of being superfluous in the drafting, the way it's drafted, as has been passed under clause 13. So kindly respond to that. Wait, Honorable Chair. Wait, Honorable Chair. Let us hear Dr. Otiende first.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, as the committee chair considers that, if you look at the bill as originally drafted, it appears clause 21 was tailored for where the cabinet secretary is the one in charge of this process. But now we are changing it to the board. And the effect of doing that is to do what exactly my colleagues are saying. You're actually creating advisory committees that are parallel in the same organization. Secondly, as even the amendment allows the board the discretion, it says the board may. But then after allowing the board discretion, when it comes to the new advisory committee, then you now say they will submit a report every 6 months, and that report, the board shall submit that report to the cabinet secretary. So you are then not establishing an advisory committee of the board. You're actually advising you're appointing an advisory committee of the cabinet secretary, because the board now does not have a discretion whether to submit or what to submit. That when it gets it shall, it doesn't even use the word it may. Therefore, I think there's a conceptual problem with this whole, reformulation of clause 21. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Is that the last contribution, members? Meli, Honorable Meli, you will wind it up, Honorable Pukose.
Yes, thank you, Chair. I think what the draft or the amendment by the Chair is actually insinuating is that this is a committee of the board. In effect, it is a committee that is reporting to the board, and the board, which is actually the the Drugs Authority, shall report to the CS. In fact, this is actually a subcommittee of the board which shall not actually be created by the Cabinet Secretary. The Cabinet Secretary cannot create a board for a parastatal. It is them creating their own subcommittee, and the subcommittee shall report to the board, who shall henceforth forward the findings to the Cabinet Secretary. So this is actually in order, Madam Chair. Yes.
Honorable Pukose, kindly address and make reference to clause 13.
In clause 13, Madam Chair, we are talking about the collaboration of the bodies or organizations within or outside Kenya as it may be considered necessary. Then we are not talking of any subcommittee that has been established in clause 13. I'm not seeing any subcommittee that has been established in clause 13. 13F(e), establish such committees as it may consider necessary for the performance of its functions and the exercise of its powers. So it will establish other committees, but this is a specialized subcommittee, a scientific advisory committee that will inform on complex scientific matters. And this is a subcommittee of the authority, not of the Cabinet Secretary. So what we've just done is to clean up. Instead of the Cabinet Secretary establishing, I think it is supposed to be the board that is establishing that scientific advisory committee, so that the board now establishes that scientific advisory committee, which will be looking at complex matters within the authority. And it will be reporting those complex matters every 6 months. Yeah, it is mandatory for that scientific advisory committee to give those reports on complex matters. No more these other normal HR committees, which are like a budget committee, human resource committee. You are not subjected to anything. But when we come to the scientific committee, that scientific committee has some special roles that it will be looking into it. And once it has advised the board, then the board can now advise the Cabinet Secretary.
Okay, Honorable Owen.
Chair, I think there is a difference between the committees that are set in 13E. Establish such committees as it may consider necessary for the performance of its functions. My understanding, Honorable Chair, is that these are normal committees that look at human resource, that look at budgets, that look at audits in the management of the functions of the board. But then there are those that look at the scientific aspect, and that's why this law is very clear and says establish scientific advisory committee. And probably, Honorable Chair, I think these are different committees, and we should allow the authority to function with this advisory committee, because this is a big area. This is a scientific, this is a corpus. It's an area that requires a lot of advisory, looking at the subject area that it covers. So, Honorable Speaker, I think we are in order to allow the committees in Section 13 and establish the advisory committees in 21.
Member for Seme.
Chair, I'm just going further on what Honorable Mbaya said. There's a difference, and I think further on, you may actually see those scientific committees listed. Now, these are not just other committees. They are actually specific committees. They are standing committees, and that is why it is necessary to establish by law, because this bill is actually taking a very broad areas. For example, you are talking about human medicine. You are talking about veterinary medicine. You are talking about No, you are talking about drugs that are used for beauty issues. So you are talking about quality control. So what is really coming out, each one of those will actually require a standing committee. And in fact, I think later on we'll find there are those standing committees that are actually listed.
Order, members. Let us hear Honorable Kaluma, then we'll hear Owen.
Very lastly, Chair, if you look at clause 21 in an amended form, Honorable Chair of the committee is being distracted. It says the Cabinet Secretary may establish scientific advisory committees as may be necessary for the performance of the functions and powers of the Cabinet Secretary under the Act. The point I'm making, Chair.
Yeah, but Honorable Kaluma, we have an amendment on the floor.
Yes, that is what I'm going
Please
to.
address the amendment.
So I'm saying,
Yes.
Honorable Chair, that amendment derogates from the substance of this provision. The committee they are talking about is the committees we spoke about in clause 13, where the board and the authority can form any committee. Let me make mine in. The point here is that you cannot bring an amendment which derogates from the substratum of the clause or the provision. This is a technical, scientific advisory committee for the CS, not the board. The one for the board is
Honorable
already under
Kaluma,
clause 13.
Order, members, I hear you, but if you read 13, which, by the way, we have already passed, yeah, without amendment, is on the authority. The authority is not the same as the board. If you ask me, what 21 is addressing is the board of the authority. So the mandate under 13 does not affect the mandate under 21. Honorable Owen.
At 21, if you go Kaluma, Honorable Chair, I would like to draw Honorable Kaluma's attention to 21.2. The scientific advisory committees shall be established under subsection 1 shall be in addition to those established in the fourth schedule of this act. Now, if you go to the fourth schedule, you see the kind of committees, Honorable Speaker. Chair, I think Honorable Kaluma needs to listen. No. If we were making a...
Honorable Owen, are you addressing the chair? Order, members, I will put the question on this one.
Yes.
I put the question that clause 21 be amended as proposed by the chair. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Member for Seme. What is his amendment? Yeah, he has an amendment that was approved earlier. It's on the order paper. The
amendment is seeking to do
this one
is actually
hold on, Order Mobemba for Seme. I want to get the import of the amendment by the chair, because the chair has deleted and substituted subclause 4 that you intended to amend and subclause 9. So your amendment will suffer the same fate. Yes, it will fall. Give him the mic.
Wait. These amendments have taken care of my amendments.
Okay.
So I don't have
Thank
to.
you. Thank
so
you,
I
Dr.
dropped
Nikal.
them.
Thank you, Dr. Nikal. So I will now put the global question that clause 21 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Part 4.
I propose the question that part 4 be part of the bill. Mover.
Chair, I propose that part 4 be amended as per the order paper. That part 4 of the bill be amended by deleting the title and substituting therefore the following new title. Part 3, Health Products and Technologies. Chair, this is to ensure harmony with the title of the bill as proposed for amendment and to correct a minor error in numbering of the parts of the bill. We are correcting from part 4 to part 3.
I propose the question that part 4 be amended as proposed by the chair. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 22.
I propose the question that clause 22 be part of the bill. Yes. Mover. Move your amendment for clause 22.
Honorable Chair, I propose that clause 22 be amended as per the order paper. This is in A, the marginal note by deleting the words medicines and substitute therefore the words health products and technologies. This is to harmonize the terms used in the bill with the title of the bill as proposed for amendment. B, in subclause 1 by 1I, deleting the words sell any medicine appearing in the opening sentence and substitute therefore the words sell, manufacture, supply, distribute or dispense any health products or technology. This is to broaden the scope of prohibited sale of health products and technologies to include manufacturing, dispensing, distribution, and supply of health products and technologies. 2, deleting paragraph D and substituting therefore the following new paragraph D. D is falsified. This is for alignment with international best practice as proposed terminology is recognized by the WHO. In C, in subclause 3 by deleting the word medicine appearing in the opening sentence and substituting therefore the words health product or technology. And 2, deleting the words pharmaceutical product appearing in paragraph B and substituting therefore the words health product or technology. This is to harmonize the terms used in the bill with the title of the bill as proposed for amendment. Thank you, Honorable Chair.
I propose the question that clause 22 be amended as proposed by the chair. Is there interest in this matter?
Put the question.
If not, I will put the question that clause 22 be amended as proposed. Honorable Nikal, just hold on. Let me put the question on this one by the chair. I put the question that clause 22 be amended as proposed by the chair. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye?
Aye.
Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Honorable Nikal, I'll give you the chance to move your amendment on this.
My amendment is actually very simple on clause 22. It's just a cross-reference. If you look at 22.3, which is saying subsection 1 shall not apply to the sale of medicines compounded by pharmaceutical technologies. Now, actually, my amendment, it should actually be 1A. And why I'm saying 1A, if you're excluding A, B, C, D from the regulation because they're being compounded, the only one you can exclude is A, because when you compound a product, it is actually not registered. It's something you are making in the pharmacy as you are doing it. So that substance cannot be registered. However, if you B, C, and D should still apply because those qualities are still required whether you are compounding in pharmacy or this is coming registered. So that is what I'm saying. Instead of 1, we should say 1A.
Honorable Otiende.
As I speak to the proposal by Honorable Dr. Nikal and his explanation of the meaning of the word compounded, I then beg to understand, both from him and Dr. Pukose and the committee, whether it is their opinion that under clause 22(3), our pharmaceutical technologies can compound such a product, given the explanation by Dr. Nyikal on the meaning of compounding.
Honorable Kaluma.
Your Chair, I support the amendment by the Honorable Dr. Nyikal, save to add, Chair, that I'm concerned at provisions we have like in clause 22A, where we are prohibiting the sale of any medicine that is not registered by the authority. Chair, you know, such are the provisions which have been applied to kill all our traditional medicine around. And let me tell you, Chair, something for which our women are being operated and are being chopped off like fibroids. If you met Dr. Margaret, my own mother, just one glass of potion and she'll send you for MRI. And yet when you take them for approval, the people in charge of the approval, including World Health Organization, just tail these things from our people.
Honorable Kaluma, address the amendment.
We must allow compassionate the way we had used.
Address the amendment on the floor.
I'm only saying that the amendment is good, but we should be alert so that we don't kill our traditional medicine under the guise of, you know, policing World Health Organization and these other bodies. I can tell you, Honorable Chair, my own wife delivers in the maternity ward not more than 5 minutes. But these drugs cannot be applied because they are not registered. And when you apply for their registration, they steal them. Honorable Chair, let us avoid such provisions in as much as we accept this amendment. I thank you, Chair.
All right, Honorable Chair.
You know, Kaluma, Honorable Kaluma, I think he would want to practice alternative medicine. There was a bill in the 11th Parliament on traditional medicine that went to the Senate and it did not come back from there, it died there. So I hope that Honorable Kaluma can take up that bill and reintroduce it in the House. In the Health Act, it actually provides for traditional medicine, but we need to now actualize it. I think it should not be a problem.
Then Honorable Nyikal's amendment.
I support Honorable Nyikal's amendment. They are good amendments. Yeah. Pardon?
Okay, honorable members, one at a time. Honorable Chair, are you done? Okay. Honorable Nyikal.
Chair, I know where Honorable Tiende is coming from, and it's actually a very important point. It's taken care of in other places. But when we are talking of compounding, in my view, and I think in the view of the committee, the act of compounding, I think pharmaceutical technologies can also compound. So on that one, I don't think we need to make that distinction. Mine was just that we must still adhere to all the strict issues except A.
Chair, let me, on a point of order.
We are getting to a close on this, Honorable TJ. 1 minute. Wrong mic.
Chair, let us not get tired. You can see the resilience of members here. I think we are working towards the same cause. You know, just to ask the chair, Honorable Pukose, because if you go to the definition of medicine, it says medicine means any substance or mixture or substance used or purporting to be used for whatever manufacturer, something like that. My eyes is really getting very far from the light source, it would seem. Time has come for it. And then it says medical substance on the same page on definitions. It also means the same, it says any drug, medicine, product, and so on. So that you help a layman like us, if then you have defined medicine to be like that, then you create an offense. You create an offense on persons who may want to prescribe things, things which under definition of medicine is actually medicine. Kaluma should not just be wished away like that, because he is making some sense. There are certain products which are, in this definition, medicine. And then you create an offense to it. Isn't that self-contradictory in terms? For the benefit of some of us who are laymen.
Honorable Meli, I didn't know Honorable TJ became layman.
I really want the chair of the Health Committee to speak to the thoughts of Honorable Kaluma and Honorable TJ, because it is medicine. The fact that these particular drugs have some efficacy or some effect, and they can heal or they can have an effect on our body, they are medicines. So I wanted us to really look at it in that sense, so that we speak to it and have it either in law or either in regulation, so that actually the whole thing is actually addressed. So I really feel that the chair has to speak to that. Thank you.
Honorable Deputy Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Chairperson. I think we are not doubting the existence or the use and the usefulness of herbal medicines, but here we are talking about approved medicines. So if something is not yet, the day the herbal medicine will be approved, then at that time it shall come under the ambit of this particular act or bill. For now, it's premature.
Chair, please wind it up.
Chair, you know medicines can be made, they are made also from either synthetic or even from herbs, from trees, from plants. But when we are talking about traditional medicine, it's a field that is not regulated. As we speak now, there is no law that is regulating the practice in traditional medicine. And those who are practicing in traditional medicine, they come in various forms. We have what we call the herbal doctors. We have what we call the wizards. We have what we call bone setters, the bone technologists. We have even neurosurgeons who from Keyo Marakwet, who can be able to remove even depressed bone fractures from your brain. So it's an area that we do not have a complete regulation on practice, or even what is it that will even form an offense when you are practicing as a traditional medical practitioner. So it's a wide field that I would encourage that the House can have a debate on that at a later date when we bring the
Honorable Dr.
bill in this
Otiende, what
House.
is out of order?
Chair, I respect Dr. Pukose, and I respect the intention both of the bill and of the amendment, with which I would have no substantive opposition. However, while it's true, Chair, that there is yet to be a clear regulatory framework for traditional medicine, it is also true that when you create an offense that does not exclude that area, then they are covered in that offense. And to that extent, whether or not there's a regulatory framework, to the extent that this part says any person shall not sell any medicine that is not registered by the authority, blah, 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 then it creates an offense. It would cover that area. And we have to be careful that if we want to exclude that area, then we need to find a way of excluding it. If we don't, that all those traditional medicines, all those herbs that our aunties and nyanyas and all those people will apply will fall under here, with the consequence of being an offense for which they would be fined 1 million shillings. So we have to be careful. That is my point of order.
Member for Central Imenti. Hold on, Chair. Hold on.
Madam Chair, as much as I respect this bill, with due respect to Dr. Pokose, if you look at this bill, it's going to make all other medicine a criminal offense unless, especially traditional medicine, unless we do something about what can be made to be a little bit parallel to the documents we have before you. I have a mother-in-law who has been taking medicine because of arthritis for quite a long time. And when she left it and started taking traditional medicine, is when she has started working again. Now, are we saying that if she goes now to get medicine from where she has been getting it, that person will be charged with a criminal offense because that one is not authorized? Are we going to let our people die because of the form of medicine, of which this bill is specifically trying to show that there is what we call falsified medicine, what is around by this bill, and I wonder why it did not specify that there are traditional medicines which ought to be at least considered, even though not in this bill, and leave a room for it now to be accommodated there on later. But as it is now, we are going to criminalize everything, which is not within this bill. We are going to open a Pandora box, Chair.
You have made your point.
Of which?
You have made your point. Honorable Makali.
Yeah, thank you, Honorable Chairperson. Honorable Chairperson,
Honorable members, I beg we don't debate because it's not second reading. Let us just make precise.
How I wish that the chair of the committee could listen to the input of the members. I think you can hear what all these members are saying, that this particular amendment is going to be suicidal in the world of medicine. And how I wish, you know, Honorable Chairperson, you have sat on that seat many times on many bills. I've never seen us struggle with a bill like this. That after 2 hours, we are still on clause 22. How I wish we got a more polished bill in this House to debate. I think there are lots of gaps, which I'm not an health expert, but even from the debate, I can see.
Honorable Makali, the Speaker already spoke to it earlier, and we said that it's unprecedented, but we will actually, that is why you see the pace is a bit, the rigidity is not as much, because we conversed about it earlier. Member for Madare.
Honorable Chair, I'm not anticipating debate, but if you look at that, the concerns being raised by members, and look at also provisions of 23 which is coming, and in light of the fact that we ought to have thought about traditional medicine in the same manner we brought 4 of the health bills together. I'm just thinking aloud for Honorable Pukose that should you have brought the traditional medicine, and the fact that is now then not brought, do you want to put a clause that would address the concerns of members that tomorrow our practitioners of traditional medicine or alternative medicine will not find themselves in cells where clause 23 will then become applicable?
Honorable Owen.
Honorable Speaker, I think how we are progressing, we may now start defining what medicine is as we start, and that is taking us to second reading. And this bill has been debated. There is a report of the committee that is available, and I think what we need to do is, if someone has an amendment on this, we discuss the amendment, we move forward. But what we are doing, we are moving. Yes. No. Let me have the mic. Honorable Speaker, what I want to tell Honorable, you know, we will have to go
Honorable
back to,
Owen, address the chair.
Honorable Speaker, what they are trying to do is to start asking us to define what is medicine. For example, there are very many people who sell supplements, but some supplements are not medicine.
My wife likes boiling kilifi and drinking. Do you call that medicine? You know, we might have to go to those things of what is medicine, what is not medicine. But anybody who wants to trade in medicine and trade in medicine, let it be registered.
We need to make progress, honorable members.
Put the question on this.
I'll give Honorable Martin Owino first. Hold on. Honorable Martin Owino.
Chair, I think we are missing the point here. The traditional medicine is not being regulated in this. In the past, in the current poison and pharmacy and poison board. So, if we want to regulate traditional medicine, let's think of another bill. But it is not in this one.
Thank you, Honorable Member for Thiwa. Honorable Member for Homa Bay Town.
Is it Kaluma or me?
No, it is the member for Homa Bay Town, not for Seme.
Yeah, I thank you, Chair. Chair, we need to proceed, and let me thank the members that we continue to sit. Chair, the concern of the members here is that medicine as defined in the bill, and I know we have not yet reached it, is very wide. Chair, that definition is repeated in clause 63, and it is also repeated in the 6th schedule, which defines medicine to be anything capable of giving relief.
We are preempting. Honorable Kaluma,
Chair, I therefore
you are
say,
preempting.
Chair, my suggestion, I agree, Chair.
Let us restrict ourselves to
yes, Chair.
clause 22.
Chair, so my suggestion, Chair, Chair, you remember I raised this matter, and the substantive speaker indicated that any clause that is problematic, and Chair, I hope you are listening to me.
Yes.
The substantive speaker did rule that any clause that is problematic can be referred back to the committee for harmonization. Now that is what the substantive speaker said. Could I request, Chair, that in line with the ruling, the consideration of this particularly contentious clause be referred back to the committee for harmonization and reconsideration? I thank you, Chair.
Other members, I will put the question that clause 22 be amended as proposed by Honorable Nyikal. Will as many as are of that be further amended as proposed by Honorable Nyikal? Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I put the question that clause 22 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 23.
I propose the question that clause 23 be part of the bill. Mover.
Honorable Chair, I propose that clause 23 be amended as per the order paper. This is in subclause 1 by deleting the word medicines appearing in paragraph A and substituting therefore the words health products or technologies. In B, deleting the word medicine appearing in paragraph B and substituting therefore the words health products and or technologies. And C, deleting the word medicine appearing in paragraph C and substituting therefore the words health products or technologies. This is just to harmonize the terms used in the bill with the title of the bill as proposed for amendments, a straightforward amendment.
All right, members, I propose the question that clause 23 be amended as proposed by the chair. I put the question that clause 23 be amended as proposed by the chair. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Honorable Oluoch, you have another amendment.
Yes, Honorable Chair, at clause 23, 23 subclause 7, I had consulted with the chair on enhancement of the penalties prescribed under subclause 2A and B. so that in the first instance, when an offender makes an offense, it should be enhanced to 2 million.
Are you moving the amendment, Honorable Tom?
Yes, I had already said I proposed the amendment as per the order paper, and as giving my justification that this ought to be enhanced, taking into account the offenses that are being spoken about here, persons who purvey or may carry themselves to be labeling, packaging, treating, which may be life-threatening, and I think enhancing it to 2 million in the first instance, and in B, to move it from 2 million to 5 million. Subject to whether the chair will agree, my consultation with the Deputy Honorable Sholei was that we remove the 2 million, which I proposed at 5 million, to actually say that that person will be imprisoned to 5 years without the option of a fine. But then that would be an amendment, a further amendment that the chair can consider. But my amendment are as per the order paper for the enhancement. I so move.
Honorable Dr. Otiende. Okay, hold on. I propose the question first. I propose the question that clause 23 be further amended as proposed by Honorable Oluoch. Honorable Otiende.
Chair, for the reasons that we have just discussed, and given the ambit of this criminal net, I would oppose the enhancement. If anything, I would have lowered the bar, either in terms of amount or in terms of years in jail. But, Madam Chair, my point of order is that it appears we don't have quorum. It appears to me we do not have quorum.
A member has stood in his place. Sergeant at arms will ring the bell for 10 minutes. We will follow our standing orders.
He has not written an standing order, Chair. He has not written an standing order.
He has mentioned quorum. Sergeant at arms, ring the bell for 10 minutes. But we need someone to sit there. Yes, yes. Then I'll jump out. Yes, then you, yeah. Because the committee of the house cannot attend. Yeah, that's my point. I'm assuming that they're not going to get quorum. We are not. Of course, you're not going to get quorum. So what you do, yeah, yes, good adjournment. You better prepare. they wanted, ingekuwa imejaa hapa. You would see Chungwa here. My problem on other bills, they would be people. Hakuna hata ukiona uone ushuru hapa, hawana interest. Kesho ndio mtawaka sasa na wewe. Kesho wewe ndio hapa. Mpapane. Kesho mpapa. This one needs a lot of concentration. This one, haitaki mtu ako sentimental. Attack kidogo. Dakika 10 zimeisha. The bell is still ringing. 58, eh? Ai, hapana. Tumeanza saa hii. We started 8 past.
8 past?
Yeah, we started 8 past.
Go up to 8:18.
Ndio alafu tuweza na receive atatoka. It's the same.
Once the 10 minutes are over, you see it will have she leave the
We want to be close. You just adjust. We write it. Iko hapa. Tutakupatia. Oh, there's another pen.
Go chair. Chair.
Yeah.
You need to decide where you belong.
Why?
So they ignore the...
By the way, stop bullying me and you manipulate you.
I am not
If it is
bullying
a
you.
bill you wanted, you'd have people.
I am not
You would
bullying
have
you.
people. Hii munatuwekea kazi ngumu.
Unajua
Then
hiyo
you tell me,
hiyo
how do I
hiyo nimwambia
I cannot
bwana
ignore.
bwana angesema tusirecommit.
Hapana, siwezi. Akishataja, it goes to that. Haina recourse.
Anyway, I know.
You get member in the house.
Lete watu. How many people do we need?
50.
For
Yes.
for committee.
Yes.
Basi twendeni nyumbani.
Yeah, tunaanza hii.
Like hivyo chair.
Mulete watu. Wachukue food. What is that? Committee. Express. I need to say you don't have to now? No. Then we are walk away.
Yeah, walk away with this paper.
Someone has called quorum. All people are calling quorum.
It is your pattern. Actually, your pattern. Of all people. Of all people. No record. Total. Oh yeah. But this bill is annoying. Let me tell you, even prosecuting is annoying.
Honorable Speaker, while we were in the committee, the whole House considering
Are you a doctor? How bad do you write? The whole House considering the Kenya. Can you even read your own handwriting? I am imagining what you have written. The Kenya Drug Authority Bill, National Assembly Bill or number 54 of 2022, an objection that
there being no quorum.
Imeisha time.
Oh, imeisha.
Okay, I can say my words. Okay, that's better. That's better. Unaitana?
Honorable members, Madam Speaker.
Chairperson.
Honorable Speaker, while we were in the Committee of the Whole House considering the Kenya Drug Authority Bill, National Assembly Bill number 54 of 2022, an objection that there was no quorum present in the committee and was raised by Honorable Tiende, and at the expiry of that 10 minutes, there was no quorum present, and in furtherance with the provision of Standing Order number 35 2B, I report that fact.
Honorable members, the time being 6:20 p.m., this House stands adjourned until Wednesday, the 25th of October 2023 at 9:30 a.m.